Hi, I'm Chris Hughes. I'd like to wish Mike and Darren a happy 2-year anniversary on their podcast, Irritable Dad Syndrome. You know, there's 2 things in life that I like to do. I like to chew bubblegum and listen to Irritable Dad Syndrome podcast. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Lottie frickin' God! We are 2 wild and crazy guys!
Welcome to the Irritable Dad Syndrome 2-year anniversary special. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darren.
Hey, I'm Darren.
I am Mike.
Welcome to episode 104. This is our 2-year anniversary special.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
It feels like, just like last week, we did the 1-year anniversary special, which was a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're way past episode 7.
I know.
So I'm going to toot our own horn a little bit here.
Absolutely.
Toot it. I'm going to toot a little bit.
Toot.
I was looking at the website the other day.
Yeah.
And the graphics and everything, I'm just tooting my own horn. Horn.
They look great.
They look really cool.
Yeah.
Like it looks, I had a moment where I was like, that looks like a good show. I might listen to that. It's like, holy crap, that's we create that.
Uh-huh.
Ugh. And then I got terrified. The same fear that I've had. So this is episode 104.
104.
I am so happy for this episode because there are no expectations from either one of us on this. This is stuff we've already done.
It's already been tested and proven, and people liked it.
And so this is an easy one. Other podcasts do clip shows. We're not comparing ourselves to other podcasts, but
even though they suck.
Yeah. We like to intro them because we like to look back and say, hey, here's what we were thinking and all these type of things. So some of the best things that have happened on this show. God bless Darren. Darren does his damnedest to make this a professional production. He creates a rundown. He creates a list of things that we're supposed to talk about.
And then we just throw it away.
Just throw it out the window. My favorite characterization of this is, you pointed out, it's like the Fred Willard and the other guy in Best in Show.
Best in Show, yeah.
And I'm the Fred Willard that just says, what about Burr? And we just talking about that. And one of my favorite ones that happened is what we're going to kick off the show with was a discussion about
a marsupial.
Possums.
Yeah.
I say possums. You say opossums.
No, I say possums and you say opossums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, where this one went sideways,
it just wouldn't stop.
It wouldn't stop. I found a Wikipedia article with, just listen to it.
Here you go. Beaver could be building a dam blocking the Ohio River.
Exactly. Exactly. Venomous beaver.
Speaking of venomous animals.
Are they?
There's a transition. I am a big fan of the group Southern Culture on the Skids. They have a Facebook page. They have a fan group. I'm on their website all the time. I've got all their albums. I've got an autographed poster from all of them. I've seen them I don't know how many times. So I get instant updates, and then whenever somebody posts on their fan Facebook page, I get the video. So today, I was lucky enough to see video of possums banging on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you mean copulating. They're not like, there's not an internet and they're hitting it.
No. They're going at it.
Okay.
They're having hot possum sex right there on the internet.
Okay.
And somebody saw this and grabbed his phone and said, ooh, I've got to record this and I have to post it on the Southern Culture on the Skids fan page.
Okay.
Because they have an album, Plastic Seat Sweat. Oh, it's a good one, too. It's a good one. Yeah, they used to be on Geffen Records, and they released 2 albums on Geffen, and that was the second one.
Okay,
and the last song on there is "Carve That Possum," and I strongly suggest you get on the YouTubes, and you download it and listen to it 100 times. It's a really good song.
Okay,
but it's got possum in it, and since these possums are banging on the internet, it somewhat relates.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay,
all right,
whatever.
I got a question.
Okay.
And this may be a very stupid question.
They did it possum style.
Easy.
No.
In the rundown, you say opossum.
That's how you spell it, with an O.
All the time?
Yeah.
You can't spell so you spell opossum, but you say possum?
Possum is spelled with an O. The correct way to spell possum is with an O.
I don't believe you.
Okay, don't believe me,
Well,
but get on your Google.
I'm going to look it up.
Look it up right now.
Because I've seen people say, I've seen it written opossum and I've seen it written possum.
Yeah, if
and
you spell it possum with the P, that's spelled incorrectly.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's spelled with an O.
Why?
I have no idea.
I mean,
that makes me smarter than people because I know that it's spelled opossum.
I don't think you're allowed to have a silent vowel at the beginning of a word.
This is America. We can
Somebody was trying to win a game of Scrabble. That's how that happened. I always thought it was, hey, there's a possum, and somebody was like, oh, possum. And then the idiot, Noah Webster happened to be walking
possum.
by. Possum of the wild frontier.
Possum.
Yeah. Just, jeez.
Yeah.
It's a marsupial. That means it carries,
has a pouch.
It carries its young
night.
on a saddle on its back.
Yeah, on a saddle. We once had a possum walking through our backyard, and it had all its possum puppies on its back.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
What?
Easy. That was a good story.
Well, it would have been a good story.
Let me read this for you.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
this is from Wikipedia.
Okay.
Which is 100%
true. The most trusted source of news in America.
In the United States and Canada, also known as North America, the only species found is the Virginia opossum.
Mm-hmm. It's not pronounced opossum.
It is, no, I'm reading. It is often simply referred to as an, quote, opossum. An opossum, not a possum.
Right.
And in North America, they are commonly referred to as possums. Sometimes rendered as possums in written form to indicate the dropped the apostrophe. They should not
like
be,
it's Irish?
Excuse me. They should not be confused. They should not be confused.
No.
With the Australasian arboreal marsupials of the order Phalangiformes that are also
English,
called
Mike. English.
that are also called possums because of their resemblance to the Didelphimorphia, of course. The opossum is typically a non-aggressive animal.
Well, yeah.
It's very...
Don't cross it.
So I'm wondering if this was originally written as the opossum is a non-aggressive animal, and then the author got bit, and they had to add typically in there due to legal concerns.
I've got a friend, Steve, and on Facebook, one of our mutual friends had said that she has a possum in her backyard, and she's worried. Is it dangerous? Should she do something to get rid of it? And Steve said, you'll be fine as long as you don't go near the nest where it's protecting its eggs.
Yeah.
Possums don't lay eggs, right?
So, right.
So now hold on. And he went on the Google and found a picture of a possum stealing an egg with an egg in its mouth. And he put it on. He said, here, see, there's a possum nursing its young.
Yeah.
She believed it. She believed it, and still to this day probably believes that possums have eggs. Funny.
So in the subgenus, in the subfamily Caloruminae and genus Calorimus, there is the bare-tailed woolly opossum. My cover band in college.
The bare-tailed woolly opossum.
There's Derby.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our stage.
Not to be confused with Derby's woolly opossum.
No.
Or the brown-eared woolly opossum.
Well, you tell them apart because they have brown ears.
Then you've got the Guianian brown four-eyed opossum. And that's insensitive.
That's very insensitive.
Just
What's
because
next?
You
the
wear
cross-eyed possum?
Yeah, you wear corrective lenses, and all of a sudden you're the four-eyed opossum.
Right.
There's the water opossum, or yapok.
Yapok.
There's the big latrine opossum. You don't want to run across a big latrine opossum.
No. We are learning more about possums tonight than I ever thought.
There's the white-eared opossum, the big-eared opossum, the common opossum. I mean, I can go, good God, how many are these? Anderson's four-eyed opossum? Now they're just making up stuff.
I'll have to...
Mickelhenny's four-eyed opossum. That's the Irish opossums there. Mickelhenny's.
Hey, Mickelhenny's.
And finally...
Mind your P's and Q's, ya possums.
Oh, my God. Now they
They're
have
always
different
after
tribes.
me, possums.
There's the Rufus mouse opossum.
Okay.
The little woolly mouse opossum, the Bolivian woolly mouse opossum, and the
Mike.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
That's what she said.
This is ridiculous. The long-nosed, short-tailed opossum.
The short-haired, wonky-eyed possum.
Now, some of these sound like STDs. The Spragucinius heterotopicus.
I had that for a while. Took some
The
penicillin.
Trey Maria gray mouse opossum.
Okay.
I'm serious. This thing just keeps going.
I believe you.
The elegant fat-tailed mouse opossum.
Okay.
Oh, I came to the end.
That's what she said.
Wait.
Okay.
This is the best one. The last one on here.
Okay.
The buff-bellied, fat-tailed mouse opossum. Buff-bellied,
fat-tailed mouse opossum.
Yeah.
Okay. And this has been Know Your Possums.
Yes. Okay. All right. So the thing about that one.
Did we count how many opossums?
I didn't.
Okay.
But I knew that was a hit when I came back from I came from work, and Bess usually listens to them when she's on her way to work.
Yeah.
And all she was talking about was opossums. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That wasn't even in the rundown. Really? Yeah. So we don't have very many guests.
No, I think we've had 5 guests out of 104 shows.
Yeah. And part of the reason is because I'm terrible with guests. I forget they're there.
Yeah.
And I just talk about whatever I feel like talking about.
Mike, let's...
So the guests that survive, the guests that come on and actually make a hit, show for us are the ones that they just talk over me. Like, you know what? The hell with this. I'm going to talk and Mike be damned.
Yeah.
And Kevin Rupert is one of our guests. He was a comedian friend of yours that you brought to the show.
Yeah.
And
he's about to open a comedy club up here.
Oh, it's called
Brickies.
Brickies.
Yeah.
Yep. We definitely want to support him in the comedy show. The dude is funny.
He is funny.
Yeah.
And he's a super nice guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he told a story about Ham the space monkey.
Yeah. It's one of his greatest jokes of all time.
Here we go.
So, Mike, before the show, you went up to get some liquid funny, and I was telling Kevin I was going to request one of my favorite jokes of his.
Okay.
And Kevin, if you got it in you, can you tell your joke about the monkey flying into space?
Oh, man. I haven't done that one in a long time, and it is kind of a long one. But basically, if I'm remembering correctly, so I watched a documentary a few years ago, and it was about how before we sent people into space, we used to send monkeys. And there was one monkey in particular. His name was Ham, and so they shot him up into space. He orbited a few times, splashed back down in the Pacific Ocean. And in the documentary, they had footage of the aircraft carrier going out to retrieve him. So they get him out of the water. They crack open the capsule, and Ham's as happy as can be because he's a monkey. That's just kind of his thing.
Because he's a monkey.
Yeah, exactly. But then they go, "Good job, little guy. You completed your mission. Now here's your reward." And they hand him one banana. Now listen, guys, I'm not an expert on how much NASA should be paying their space monkeys, but I did play a lot of Donkey Kong Country growing up, and pretty sure that one banana isn't sufficient compensation for going to space. What did this guy have to do to get 2 bananas? Colonize Mars? That's kind of the general, the general concept.
Classic. And Mike and Kevin did this at the Paradise Key Cafe. And it's a hilarious joke. Yeah. Good job, buddy. And the 2 ladies just stared at him.
Yeah, they did not like it.
Oh no, they probably thought it was hilarious, but they just
that's right.
They just stared at it. Oh man.
Okay. So here one of the things I like about that is that we had someone in our high school that was referred to as the space monkey. So
didn't we all?
This portion of our show is brought to you by Auto Honk, the new feature for your car that's taking the world by storm. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and there's nothing I hate worse while driving than having to stop what I'm doing and honk at somebody who doesn't know how to drive. Is there a moron that isn't going when the light turns green? What about that dipwad who pulls right out in front of you when there's nobody behind you for miles? Or how about that hot lady who didn't notice you sitting there in your fully restored, freshly waxed Pontiac Firebird? So, keep your hands on 10 and 2 and let Auto Honk do the honking for you. Download the app today at autohonk.com.
So one of the things that fans of the show have learned about Mike is that Mike loves ice cream. And not only does he love ice cream, he loves to hide his ice cream. And he is very militant when it comes to, he's very penultimate when it comes to eating his ice cream, because he has a thing, don't you? You have a thing about...
It has to be purchased correctly. It has to be purchased correctly.
Well, you have a fear that the ice cream is going to melt within seconds of purchase of said ice cream. So,
yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
And it's led to moments of, let's just say, embattlement.
Exactly. Tillamook makes ice cream sandwiches.
Okay.
Our lawyer informed us of this.
And that's part of his job. So I'm glad that he did
Thank
that.
you, Andrew.
Yeah. So we go to Charlie's football game. Okay?
Okay.
We get done with Charlie's football game. Now, we've been out in the sun. This is on Sunday.
Okay.
We've been out in the sun this entire time. We're all sweaty and nasty.
Uh-huh.
We want to go home. And I want to stop. We're very close to a Kroger. They always have Blue Bunny ice cream sandwiches. And I think we've established before, those are my favorite ice cream sandwiches currently.
Yeah.
So I want to go in there. And I need to get some other things like food that we need to eat. But I'm just going to be in there for like maybe 5 minutes.
Wait, is this another Kroger story of the week?
This is a Kroger. It's another Kroger story. But most of it doesn't take place in Kroger's. Kroger's is just incidental to the story.
Oh, okay. Then I won't use Dave.
Now, I've talked to you about this before. My trip, when I know I'm getting ice cream, I get it the very last thing that I get.
I've been in the store with you, and you were adamant. You are militarist.
And then it's the first thing that makes it into the house.
You are
goes
penultimate
to the freezer.
about that.
I leave my kids wandering in the street while I bring the ice cream in and put it in the freezer. Okay? That's how I roll.
Yeah. Honest to God, people, Mike and I were at the grocery store one time.
Yes.
We went to the Crowbar together, and then I had to grab a couple things. Mike's like, well, I've got to grab a couple things too. Mike was standing there about to put his hand in the cooler to get the ice cream sandwich, and I said, oh, hold on, I need to get a gallon of milk. Oh, for fuck's sake. How long have I got to stand here and pop, snag? I was like, calm down,
I take
woman.
ice cream very seriously.
Yeah.
So I get it. The last thing, I go up to the thing. Now I'm waiting in line because the person next to me is having trouble dealing with the little conveyor of stuff.
And now your ice cream is melting.
They're waiting until the person in front of them has their stuff completely dealt with before they begin placing their items on the conveyor.
Okay.
That's selfish. I hate that. Anyway, I get my stuff. Now I'm annoyed because my original speedy exit has been delayed somewhat.
Your ice cream is turning into soup.
So I run out to the car. I put them in there, and I say, before I get what took you so long? I said, I had to get some things that were necessary, and there's ice cream back there, ice cream sandwiches. So we got to go. We get in the car, we get right on 129 and come to a stop. There is a wreck.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
Okay.
Great.
So now I am, and I'll admit it, I'm thinking about my ice cream sandwiches. How long do I have before they're no longer ice cream sandwiches and they're just vanilla soup with cookie stuff floating in them? So I look I always have Google Maps going, 15 minutes.
Even if you're going home?
Because it tells you what time you're going to get there. It looks at traffic and everything. You don't do that?
You should know how long it's going to take to get home.
No, it takes normally 3 minutes from that point, but I knew it was going to take 20 minutes. Because that's what Google Maps said. You don't use it for traffic? Speed traps, all that stuff?
No, not when I'm going somewhere that I know where I'm going.
Okay, boomer. Anyway, it helped me get, I had to go home a whole different route, but that's at the end of the story.
Okay,
so we're waiting.
Okay.
We're in the traffic, and I said that's going to be about 15, 20 minutes. In the car. And then Beth says, well, let's
open. You sound like an 84 Ford Escort that needs an oil change.
That's the kids in the back saying. And then Beth says, well, let's open up the ice cream sandwiches. And I go, ho.
These...
No.
Oh, she thinks that they're for everybody.
She thinks they're for everybody. B, she's about to open them and expose them to more heat. And I say, I don't know that we need to open up the ice cream sandwiches just yet. And she says, well, I'm hungry. I want, and we're all dehydrated.
Uh-huh.
And I said, actually, sugar is going to make you more dehydrated.
Yes.
You shouldn't be putting ice
Dairy,
cream
and dairy
At
will
which
make
point
you
I
sick.
get the stare, and she says, the kids need something to eat.
Uh-huh.
I said, there's buns. There's buns in there.
Hamburger
because
buns
I'm
or
gonna
hot dog?
because I was gonna make hamburgers and hot dogs. Have them eat the buns. Don't eat my ice cream sandwiches. And then Charlie from the back says, really? And Andrew is like, I'm getting ice cream sandwiches. So he starts reaching into the thing, and Bess is like, thank you. So they open up the box of ice cream sandwiches. And I said, I become passive aggressive. I'm like, okay, I guess we're just going to let the ice cream sandwiches melt. That's fine. I spent a lot of money. Those are my ice cream sandwiches. If any one of you takes a bite and starts talking about how much these suck, you're walking home. I'm not putting up with that.
Yeah.
Don't, because they've done that before with the Blue Bunny. Oh, these are terrible. Oh, these are awful.
Right.
And just eat them right in front of me.
Uh-huh.
And Bess is like, you need to calm down.
Which always works.
So now
that always works when you tell the wife that.
So now I'm steaming. But I've gotten to the edge of an argument. At this point, it's been mostly good natured, but I'm skirting the edge of an argument here. So I stand down. Okay. Now I'm waiting and I'm looking up the road. And Andrew keeps saying, just pull in the grass. He wants me to go through the median and turn around on 129. And I'm saying, just hold on, bud. I don't want to do that just yet. And I'm looking up to see what's going on. It looks like it's a bad wreck.
Right.
Okay. We're there for another 3 or 4 minutes. I'm thinking the ice cream's melting. It's melting.
But officer, my ice cream sandwiches are melting.
And I'm thinking now they've opened the package. So there's more space that is available for the air, the warm air to hit the sandwiches. They're going to be melting faster.
Right.
And I'm thinking of what I remember from heat transfer in school. By the way, I studied this.
I know you're
Convective
an engineer.
heating and cooling.
Yes.
I'm like, it's not exactly like 2 or 3 times faster, but they are melting at a higher rate. This is all going through my head, but I'm not saying any of it because I don't want to get into a fight. I'm just looking at the road. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. I see a tow truck come.
Oh, dear Lord.
And go sideways. I'm like, they haven't even started moving this yet. So off into the grass I go. Andrew starts screaming from the back, oh my God, what's he doing? I was like, I don't need you screaming at me while I'm about to pull into traffic the wrong way for a few seconds before we get going the other way. I use Google Maps to get home. We're driving. It's maybe a 5-minute journey at that point. So I have a moment. I'm getting home. We've been in the car now in the hot sun for about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay. And I can't help myself. We're maybe 2 minutes from the house. And I say to Bess, you didn't really have to rip those ice cream sandwiches open.
Right.
And she said, well, you said we were going to be in the car for 10 to 15 minutes. Had I known that you were going to turn around and do this, then I wouldn't have opened them. And I said, well, we're going to end up having been in the car for 15 minutes because it took 5 minutes. We waited 10. That's 15 minutes. We're in the car the same amount of time that you thought we were going to be in the car. So that argument doesn't really hold up. And now I can't stop myself. And, Your Honor, when the only thing I was saying is that when you open the ice cream sandwiches, you expose more of you get more surface area available to the heat.
Yes.
And then it begins to melt them more. And she says to
Can
me,
I add one thing? When you take one ice cream sandwich out, the friction, when it rubs against another one, that right there.
You
haven't even calculated friction.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment of silence, and she says, so you'd rather me and the kids they're shaky. They just played a football game. They're shaky. And I let that one sit for 20 or 30 seconds. And then I said, I'd rather you guys be shaky than me have melted ice cream sandwiches. That was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah, Mike.
And anybody in that situation, you should probably not say that because that got the dark look. However, we got home a couple minutes later. I rushed. I don't even remember turning the car off. I think I might have coasted into the driveway, still in drive, jumped out, rolled.
you're treating
and threw them into the freezer.
Okay, the ice cream sandwiches are a human heart, and you are the helicopter pilot who's taking it to get it to make sure that.
Well, Darren, there's a time limit at which point they become useless.
I know.
Let's remember that the Kroger near us, the one that is the focus of most of Kroger stories,
right?
They're not the best at stocking Blue Bunny ice cream bars. The one that I came from is.
Okay.
Which means if I want them again, I have to go back to that Kroger.
To the marketplace.
That's a whole 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
So, yeah, the opened ice cream sandwiches, I run in, full run. I ran over Boo-Bah. I can't. I want to believe I didn't kick her out of the way. I think I just ran past her. I threw those into the freezer. I grabbed the other box and put them in the downstairs freezer because I hide them. They know they already opened one of them, so now I've got a stash.
Perhaps you should start keeping a cooler and dry ice in your car for such an occasion. For when you buy ice cream, then you just put it in there. Then someone can be dead on the interstate.
Yeah.
And you'll be just fine because at least your ice cream's okay.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're concerned about the kids eating, I still don't see why they can't just eat the hamburger buns.
If it's just a matter of, because carbs.
It's pure survival.
Carbs.
Pure survival.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
And I'm not proud of this.
Right.
There was a moment when all three of them were taking bites of the ice cream sandwich. I briefly thought about slamming on the brakes so their face would go in this. Go in it. And they would get ice cream all over their face. And I would say, a bun, that wouldn't have been a problem.
No. A hamburger bun would not have spread all over their face.
That's right. And okay,
are those good ice cream sandwiches?
Yeah, So as much fun as we had with that clip, I care so much about ice cream that later on in the show's life, ice cream sandwiches came back up again.
Yeah.
Because you started to relay a story about being in the Kroger and buying ice cream.
Right.
And
I ran into some friends.
Whoa. And you offended me greatly.
Anyway, I ran into the Kroger marketplace, and I had to get a couple of things for the wife. And while I was in there, I remembered that you said the Kroger marketplace has the best ice cream sandwiches.
They have the Blue Bunny. They have the Blue Bunny.
So I went and I got a box of Blue Bunny ice cream sandwiches.
They're thick.
My first problem with the Blue Bunny ice cream sandwiches
thick with 2 C's.
There's 9 of them in the box. Yeah. There's 4 of us. So that's going to be a problem. Yeah. Anyway, I get the ice cream sandwiches. I'm going down
assuming you share.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's actually they're currently hidden.
Okay.
Underneath some frozen.
Do you have a spare freezer like
no,
I do?
Well, we do in the basement, but the ice cream sandwiches are currently hidden under some frozen fish.
Oh, it's the best place.
The kids will never look under there. They will now if they listen to this episode. Yeah. So I got my ice cream sandwiches. I'm walking down the back aisle, going through the meat department. I see Ann and Dave Wiseman, our friends.
Yeah.
They're big fans of the podcast.
Are they?
Yeah. And they're like, hey, Darren, I'm talking to them. And they're asking, how's everything going? How are the kids in school? And they asked about the podcast. And then I start giggling inside, thinking, if Mike was having this conversation, he would be shitting his pants, knowing that his ice cream sandwiches are melting.
I have anxiety right now when you're telling me this story. I can't believe you got ice cream sandwiches. I would avoid them. If I would have seen them.
I know, you would not have
I would have hidden my face.
That's how important they are to me. I will talk to them. And I spoke to him for maybe 10 minutes. You okay?
Oh, my God.
Are you all right?
You serious?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
What's wrong with you? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes. And what do you talk to them about for 10 minutes that's more important than your ice cream sandwiches?
I told them that I'm looking forward to when they can get out and about. We would hang out together.
These are all things that can be emailed or talked about on the phone. What the f*** is wrong with you? You've got ice cream sandwiches that are melting in your basket because you were stupid enough to get them while you're not even done with your trip. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is why I had to cuss you out when we were at the the thing.
You lost your mind.
Because you were going to allow me to have melted Blue Bunnies. What happens if you have what happened to me a couple episodes ago where there's a wreck on the interstate? You're not going to have... And you have to go back. You've wasted all that money on Blue Bunnies, and you deserve it.
I had my conversation. I even went by the produce department.
You say they're big fan. You say they're big fans of this show.
Yeah.
Ann and Dave.
Yeah.
Ann and Dave. I swear to God, if you see me at Kroger, I go from the fruit department over to the other side towards the toys, and that's my path. If you see me after the ice cream, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I don't want to see you because I don't want to feel guilt that I'm ignoring you, that I'm choosing my ice cream sandwiches.
Right. Yeah.
I will choose my ice cream sandwiches over you.
Yeah.
And I'll feel the guilt, and I'll drown that guilt in ice cream sandwiches.
But I'm going to tell you what I did.
Okay. I'm sorry.
On
You've got me fired up.
On my way out, I bought some bananas because their produce department's on the other side. I got bananas. I checked out, and actually, something happened at checkout. You wouldn't have even spoken with the cashier. I've got my
Why?
I've got my Steelers shirt on, and she says, the cashier asked me, "Did they win today?" And I said, "Actually, they're playing right now." And she goes, "Oh, well, I don't even follow football. I don't really."
What the hell was the point of
Why did you bring it up? Why did you say, "Hey, you've got a Pittsburgh Steelers shirt on. I'm going to talk football with you," and then go, "I don't want to talk about football."
Oh my God.
And I wanted to ask her, then why did you even ask me that?
Oh my
Do you not
Lord.
realize I have ice cream sandwiches? Anyway, I took the ice cream sandwiches home, and you know what? They were perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Okay, so I think the moral to this story is ice cream is the last thing you get, and it's the first thing that enters the door when you get home.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah. Did you ever get a cooler full of dry ice?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't care that much.
Mike and I, we don't get into politics.
No.
There's no better way to cut off half your audience than to relay your own political opinions. So we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about hot topic issues, hot button issues. We don't even talk about the heat.
Well, and another piece of the show is we want the show to be fun and entertaining.
Exactly.
And I don't think, you can have fun laughing at politics, but it's usually somebody's expenses in there.
Absolutely.
It's not,
So here's the thing. I was driving around the neighborhood, and there was all these campaign signs, and somebody running for office was named Buck. In Ohio.
Yeah.
And that led to this discussion. It's political season. November 2 is when people vote, and there are political signs all over. These aren't like major offices.
These are like dog catcher,
trustee,
right? Trustee. What the hell does a trustee do?
I don't know. Like school. Is it school board and
school board? School board's huge right now because of the stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember what. Levies. You vote on this issue, this ballot, this thing. Vote for the thing. Vote for thing 2, or if you're against thing 2, you vote for thing 3.
I'm concerned about the levies because Robert Plant said,
right, when the levee breaks.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you.
So whatever political party is on not breaking the levees,
right,
I support them.
But I'll tell you what, as far as issue 2 goes, if you're for issue 2, by all means vote yes. If you're against issue 2,
right,
then vote no.
Okay.
So, anyway, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
But there's a person running for office, and his first name is Buck. And I'm asking myself, are we in Texas? Because this sounds like a guy running for office in Texas.
Yeah. What is Buck?
I don't know. I don't know.
His full name Buckminster?
Buckminster.
Okay. I think that's what it should be.
Buckminster.
I think it should be Buckminster.
But if you're Buck, I imagine that your competitor is probably named Dusty. So it's like Buck Sneed, and he's running against Dusty Sawyers, and the campaign would probably like, I'm Buck Sneed, and I'll tell you right now, Dusty Sawyers has run this town into the ground, it's time that we get him out of here.
I'm going to tell you about Buck Sneed. That boy's a son. And if you want
Dusty
issue
Sawyers
2...
is a liar.
Well, I'll tell you about Lars. You want to know about Lars going up there to Buck Sneed's house, and every damn one of them's a Lars. Now, if you want somebody you can trust, and you want somebody that can get your oil change right, you come on over to Dusty's. Dusty will
Sawyers,
serve you up right.
Dusty Sawyers, he don't even pay his own children. This is Mike and Darren reenacting.
If Dusty Sawyer's children are up there sniffing around Buck Sneed's place, I ain't paying them a damn thing. And I've already told each and each one of them up there, don't go sniffing around up there at Buck Sneed's place.
Dusty Sawyer can rot in hell for all I
It
care.
was Dusty Sawyer. I'll
Buck
drag
Sneed.
you down there with me, you son. You and that whore wife of yours gallivanting around
Don't you
town.
talk about your sister like
you
that.
Chevy driving mother. Vote for Buck Sneed.
Paid for by Buck Sneed.
Wait, I am Buck. I'm Dusty Sawyers. Vote for me.
Why in the hell am I paying for your campaign?
Yeah.
Anyway, guy's name is Buck. He may be a great guy.
He could be.
He could be a complete son. I don't know.
I hope he's 5'3", bald, with thick glasses, and he's an accountant. I really do. He's just named Buck.
His name is Buck. I don't know. Yeah, Chris Michael specifically requested that segment. So thank you, Chris. And Chris, thank you for your patronage. I have mentioned many times that my oldest son is in marching band. And my wife and I, we've gone to all of his competitions. And there was one particular competition where we were driving where we had, I wouldn't call it an altercation with the truck driver, but we definitely had something unique happen between us and a truck driver. And we leave, and we have like an hour, 45 minutes to get there. We have like 5 minutes leeway here. Yeah. I am driving to Columbus, okay? And I'm driving like a madman. Driving 75, 80 miles an hour. And Libby is hilarious because anytime someone would get in front of us, she's like, hey, move out of the way. Hey, move it. Move. Move it. Don't you get over there. But okay, honey, you can pass him now. And then it's like if someone would get in front of us, she would yell at them, and then they would move. And she's like, I'm going to give them a hard stare. And we would pass them, and she would shoot them a look.
You do the thing where you've got to see what the person looks like.
Exactly.
That's giving you all that crap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm driving like Richard Petty, and she's shooting hard stares at people who keep getting in our way.
Yep.
Now we're about to pass a semi. Okay.
It's a different league.
I know. This semi whips over in front of us. Not like dangerously in front of us, but he does pull out in front
enough
of
to
us.
let you know that he knows that you know that he's there.
Exactly. And we're slowing down, and we're waiting on him, and he passes not one, but two, but three cars.
Is this one of those one lane and then the other lane's going the other way?
Exactly.
Oh, he's got some.
No. We're on a
highway.
We're on a highway. Yeah.
Okay.
But still, I have to be behind him.
Yeah.
So he finally gets back in the right lane. I'm passing him, and Libby says, I'm giving him the hard stare, too.
Yeah.
And she's ready. She's ready to give him that look like, how dare you? We pull up past him. What does he do? He pulls out a thing of nasal spray and shows it like, look what I got. And I'm confused as hell. And Libby doesn't know what's going on. And we're laughing like, was that a sorry I pulled out in front of you, I'm on nasal spray? Or was that a don't mess with me,
I'm on nasal spray.
I still don't know. Okay. I mean, it's like if I could run into that guy again, I would ask him, what the hell were you doing with the nasal spray?
So Darren and I are huge Marvel fans.
Yes.
Marvel has 538 movies?
539 now if you count. Yeah.
So we like long-running stories.
Yes.
So we were surprised when one happened on our show. We had a story that just kept coming back.
It did.
So I had to get a colonoscopy. And typically you go, you get that taken care of, you get the results, and you go on with your life.
Bob's your uncle. Yeah.
Somehow this thing popped up 3 times on the podcast. And here, for your listening pleasure, is the entire colonoscopy
trilogy.
Okay, so this Thursday, I'm having a colonoscopy. You know what that is.
I do. I've had one.
Yeah, that is an extreme selfie, basically. Okay.
No, it's not, because if you were doing it to yourself,
then
true. That would be extreme.
That's true. So I've been through a couple of these. I've got it all planned out. I'm excited about the weight I'm going to lose tomorrow when I'm not allowed to eat anything after breakfast.
Yeah, tomorrow's the cleanse.
I've already told everyone that I know that I'm going to be an asshole tomorrow. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm going to be even worse the next day. And then so I got a call from them with the information that I need. So I've already got my little kit. By the way, the first one that I had a liquid that I had to drink that tasted like Pine Sol, which that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that it was oily. And that took me an ungodly amount of time to get down because it just drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So this now is tablets that I put in water and I drink them. I don't know what it's like different each time. I wish they would just like land on something.
Right.
So I have to do all these things. I have to have someone drive me there.
Yeah.
Remain there.
Yeah. You have to.
And then take me home.
Right.
I think it's bull.
Well, no, you're going to be coming off of
sedation or whatever the hell they call that.
Yeah.
Because if you're unsedated, you wouldn't let someone jam a iPhone up your ass.
Right. Like the moose.
Right.
Right.
Boy, if we had sedated that thing, we would have gotten away.
That would have been a party.
A lot fewer fines.
Right.
The problem is that we have children at home and we can't leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Both my wife and I can't go do this. So I was going to call them to say, can she drop me off and then come pick me up?
They won't let you do that.
They won't let me do that. Why won't they let me do that? Why won't they let me get an Uber? Why can't I get an Uber and just put a towel down?
Because
why not?
Put a towel down.
What's wrong with that?
There's not going to be anything to. There's no need to put a towel.
Oh, you're
going to be completely cleaned out, my friend. It's going to be like a whistle. Yeah.
But I mean, I had everything ready to go. I was even ready to. I've got all my jokes lined up for the farting room. Because you lay in there and you fart for a while.
Right.
I mean, there's a few that involve me yelling out "turlet." There's a few me saying, "What'd you say?" I got all kinds of those, of dad jokes lined up for the farting.
So you're going to say, "What did you say?"
Yeah.
And that's a colonoscopy joke.
I'm going to lay in there. What? What'd you say?
Did somebody step on a duck? You got that one written down?
Duck, elephant. There's a baby elephant. That's a Californian barking spider. That's one.
California barking spider.
Yeah, you got to watch out for them. Is there a monkey loose in here? I got tons of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see that? Oh, because you're in there. You're usually in there with a couple of people. Like where I've been, and you're.
Where are you getting your colonoscopy?
It's a weird place.
I was in a room by myself when I was done.
I was on a gurney. Is that what it is? A gurney, a table, a bed.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was.
With
and
wheels.
there's like sheets in between. There's like 3 or 4 of us in there, and we were separated by sheets. And Bess was sitting in there while I was farting, and I could not stop laughing. And the harder I laughed, the louder I farted. It ended up sounding like a trombone at one point. So I've got all these comments for everyone else's enjoyment in there.
Oh, they're going to love this.
Did you see how the sheets flew off of me? Put that back on. Oh, that looks important. Put that back in. All kinds of things. Ready to go.
Yeah.
But now I have to worry about this thing, like how I'm going to get there and how I'm going to get back.
Right.
And I'm just saying, this is America.
Mm-hmm.
I have health insurance.
Right.
I'm paying you people, and the insurance company is paying you people to shove an iPhone up my keister, take some pictures, come back, tell me what you found, bring back any jewelry or gold or anything left up there, and then let me go home my own way. Why can't I could just walk home from the place?
No, you can't.
I might get lost.
You can't walk home, Mike. They can't.
I just don't see why I can't get an Uber.
You have to have somebody there because the Uber is unreliable. What if you got the Uber that we got in Cleveland and you waited, and then they just left?
I wouldn't be halfway home from a colonoscopy talking about road construction and end up in
I'm not talking about
Dayton.
that Uber guy, the first Uber guy, the one that ditched us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one that bailed.
I can't just hitch a ride.
You're not, yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so now we got to do so. We got to find something to do. We've got to drop our kid off with another parent, which means we have to talk to people now. Do a favor.
Yeah.
So then what do we have to do next for them? That whenever they have a colonoscopy, that we have to have their kid come up. It's like this weird thing. I don't want, and I don't want to tell people that's why we need to have, here, take my kid because I'm going to go have a colonoscopy.
Right.
It's private. Yeah. I just think there's better ways for the doctor to handle this.
Okay.
All I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm opening myself, literally opening myself up to a lot here. I'm putting a lot forward. I'm allowing this to happen to my ass. I'm going along with all their requirements. I'm not eating for an entire day. You know how hard it is for me to not eat for an entire day? It's probably almost as hard as it is for you to not eat for a whole day.
I was hangry.
Yeah.
I was moody.
So on top of all that, you're going to force this on me. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to rant. That's it. I know I have to do it. I know I'll find a way. I know this is a first world problem. I know there's people dying of dysentery next to the Amazon
You said you've had one of these before, right?
I've had 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually you don't have your first one until you're 50. Why have you had 2
I had an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, and they had to go in there and they had to do some work.
Because you're a pain in the ass.
They had to scope around, and then after you have one, you're locked in. That's it.
You're addicted.
It's like
you're addicted to colonoscopies.
It's like the first time you pee at a bar. That's it. You're peeing every 20, 30 seconds.
God, I used to date a girl. She says, well, I broke the seal. Oh, and I want.
That's just...
every time she was with me at the bar, she's like, "Well, time to go break the seal."
Oh God, I would have. At the instant she went in there to deal with the seal, I would have been out the door.
She's an ex-girlfriend.
Okay,
for a reason. Okay, I don't know if she had her colonoscopy or colonoscopy.
Either one of those. Colonoscopy is
whatever.
That's what they're called in Russia.
That's that system you have that helps with viruses on your computer.
Indeed, yes.
Boy, there's a long way to go for that damn stupid joke. God, you can edit that out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Previously on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
I want to be able to drive myself to my colonoscopy. I'll get into that.
Well, you're not allowed to do that.
This is America.
Okay.
If I want to go right now and drive myself somewhere and have someone shove something in my ass, who's going to stop me?
They won't do it unless you have someone waiting there to take you home.
Well, someone to take me home, I can have Bess pick me up.
No, they won't do it unless there's somebody there.
Waiting in the waiting room the entire time I'm being violated.
Yeah.
Bess has to come home and put Charlie in the bus.
Then
so my kid has to miss a day of school because I'm
going to have to take you. Which is going to add a whole new level to our friendship.
No, I don't know that. Because let's break that down at the most.
Seriously, what's going to be better for the podcast than Darren takes Mike to his colonoscopy?
Are you serious?
I'll take you.
This is Thursday morning.
This Thursday?
This Thursday.
What time?
I got to be there at 6:45.
I can't do that.
See.
So you have to be at the hospital at 6:30?
6:45.
6:45. Where? Which hospital?
I think it's Mercy. I don't know. The address looked weird. I think they put me somewhere else. It's a back alley.
In a van.
It's behind the dumpster, behind the third dumpster on the right.
Oh, you're going to Keith's Discount Colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Now, back to the show.
I had a colonoscopy.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. So
what did they find? Your head? But
I still don't have the results. They were supposed to call. I'm supposed to call them like 2 weeks later, and I keep calling, and they're not there. I get voicemail saying, "Hey, well, we'll call you back. It's not a big rush, not a big hurry."
Where did you have it? Like behind a
Joe's Colonoscopy Emporium.
Joe's Discount Colonoscopy. Yeah.
I was complaining that I wasn't able to drive myself, so me, Bess, and Charlie ended up going. Charlie, he was in the waiting room. Turns out colonoscopies don't take that long. Once they get you jacked up on the drugs, they in there, wham bam, thank you, sir, and that's it. I was out completely. So the last one I had, the last one I had, I was awake. When I saw the camera, I saw it was like a really, really odd version of 2001 Space Odyssey.
It was like
my ass looming.
Remember that old intro to Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
listen.
I was in there by myself. I didn't get to use any of my jokes. Because the last episode, I was talking about all the fun dad jokes I had. The California barking spider, step on a baby elephant.
Yeah.
All that looked important. Put that back. All that stuff. Charlie was not allowed to go back there, and Bess couldn't leave him alone. So I was just in the recovery room, all those dad jokes just wasted. I guess I could have taken advantage of that and just said them anyway.
Could you just ring for the nurse, have her come in, and then tell her, and then when she goes away, just ring her again?
So we did what we normally do, which leads me into the next story. Is
hold on a second.
Yeah. Oh, you have questions. You want me to expound?
No. We got a message from a listener.
Oh,
our old fan Jim Timmerman wrote. He said, "Dear Irritable Dad Syndrome, oh my God, The next time you or Mike need a ride for a colonoscopy, please put it up as a purchase on the website. I bet there are fans of the show that would pay to take him.
I don't know if I want someone who would buy taking me to get my ass checked. Oh, yeah, that would be good. Raffle off taking me to a colonoscopy.
Right.
There's two of us.
Or me, yeah. Or take us both.
Exactly.
Next time, let's both have colonoscopies together. We'll live stream it on the podcast.
I think we should do that.
Podcast Anoscopy Palooza. Wait a minute.
So they tell you at the end, you can eat, try to do something light, get your system back used to it. Don't do anything greasy, but as long as you can handle it, you can eat pretty much whatever you want.
Right.
And so we went to the original Pancake House, and the first thing that hit my stomach was a couple of pounds of bacon. I figured I'm gonna, if we're gonna get back into this thing, let's get back into it right. So I had an iPhone shoved up my ass. Let's rewind. Let's rewind.
It wasn't an iPhone.
I had a colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect to talk about this over 3 episodes, but here we are.
Right, because see, when I had my colonoscopy, I had the results within a couple of days. They seem to have sent yours off to Guam or Afghanistan or Cuba or something.
So they told me when I was coming out of my daze, my fugue state.
My fugue
state. They told me that they would call me, or for me to call, that I should call them in 2 to 3 weeks for the results. Well, this is 2 to 3 weeks before Christmas. No, ain't nobody wants to talk about their butt on Christmas.
No.
Okay, so I waited about a week after, and then I figured I'll give them a call.
Okay.
After New Year's and everything, I'll give everybody a chance to get over their hangover.
Yeah.
And no, they didn't. I'm in. Thank you for calling. We're blah 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 blah. We can call you back in 55 minutes. Okay, so I did that. I can't just sit, at work. I can't just sit for an hour by the phone waiting for them to call. I got to go do things. Of course, I come back and there's a voicemail.
Yeah.
Sorry we missed your call, or we missed talking to you.
Right.
We have your results. Just give us a call back. No big hurry. I thought that was a good sign.
Yeah.
I think when you have something, they want to talk to you immediately.
Mike, we need you to call back within 10 minutes.
So I called back. Of course, they wouldn't, thank you for calling. We're having high call volume. Press 1 if you would like a call back in 73 minutes. So said no. This goes on for about a week, week and a half, for a long time. It was just a few days ago that I actually got the result. When
you were on hold for a week and a half.
No.
Okay.
No.
That would have been better.
From the time that I could actually get a human being on the phone. And I get them on the phone. Okay. And they, what's your name? I give them my name. Booba. Date of birth. Okay, let's see here. All right. Result. And I hear her clicking. Okay.
Yeah.
And results. And I'm going to recreate exactly what she said to me. Okay, let's see here. Your name, your date of birth, and results. Oh, this is not good.
What?
And pause.
What?
Meanwhile, I'm having a minor heart attack, and I believe I said, and she says, oh, this is not good. And I'm like, what's not good?
What is not good?
She's like, oh my gosh. And then I hear, like she's talking to somebody else, and she comes back. She's like, I'm so sorry. And okay, at this point, I'm standing. I'm pacing now in my office.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me, what is it? Do I need to come in?
Right.
She's like, no, it's coming. She's like, I was like, do I have cancer? What happened?
Right.
She's like, oh, no.
Jesus.
She says it's just not coming up in the system. I was like, oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. And I was, usually I try to be nice when people, but I was like, okay, so you're just saying it's not good because you just can't get it to come up on the computer.
Right.
She's like, yeah. Oh no, here it is. Everything's fine. You're good. You're fine. And then she goes, and to her credit, she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Just, okay.
Okay. 1, don't do that again.
Yeah.
And 2, don't do that again.
So I think there should be training. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't they train like 911 operators?
They train literally everybody.
There's certain things you don't do. Like if you're answering the phone for 911, you don't want to have a big old chunk of pizza hanging out. Like, oh, what's going on? You know, you want to be attentive. You want to get the information that you need.
Right.
You want to not hang up on them because you're bored with the conversation. If you're the only people calling a colonoscopy place are people making an appointment to get a colonoscopy or calling to see if they're going to die in a few days or not, right? Or a few weeks.
Yeah.
That's it. So in neither one of those cases do people want to hear, oh, that's not good. The moral of that story is that if you are in any way responsible for giving bad news to people, don't start your sentence with, this is not good. Don't do that.
Yeah. You know, last year when we did our Best of Season 1, we ran a couple of Best of clips from Dave Lay because people love Dave Lay. He does the commercials.
Yes.
He does the intros for our show.
Yeah.
He does the outro every week for the show. On this particular show, Dave is going to be reading some credits in his beautiful golden voice.
This is really the Dave Lay show.
Yeah.
And we support. We're support acts.
Exactly. We really hold Dave Lay's segments together. So here is something that Dave Lay worked very hard on. It's the best of Dave's Comedy Corner.
Hey kids, it's now time for Dave's Comedy Corner. So what's the deal with cotton candy? You know, I only eat cotton candy if it's made from 100% cotton. So don't give me any of that poly cotton blend crap. I think the word trampoline sounds like a fuel for slutty girls. Get it? Tramp? Oline? There was a time when Adam and Eve held the world record for everything. The world's oldest man. The world's tallest woman. I think you get the idea. Have you ever noticed if you superglue a bugle snack onto a My Little Pony doll, it looks just like a unicorn? Every year at Christmas, my wife pisses me off. You see, she buys me a gift and says it's my Christmas present and my birthday present. The problem is, my birthday is in June. I went into a gas station the other day and saw a guy buying one roll of toilet paper. And I thought, what are you trying to do? Quit?
Waka, waka, waka.
This has been Dave's Comedy Corner, brought to you this week by Otis Elevators. There's nothing like the feel, the smell, and the comfort of an Otis elevator. If you're in a building that doesn't have an Otis, well, you need to take the stairs.
That is one of my favorite new things that Dave does. That is,
The music. I love the music.
So we had one segment on here that was a special request from one of our listeners, and we're just going to introduce it like this. A Judy Chop.
So I hear you're trying to work on your Southern accent.
Okay. I think there's...
I want to know why.
I think it's useful.
For what?
Because I used to have, and when I say, I don't mean Southern accent. There's Southern accents, and then there's hardcore redneck accents. I used to have a hardcore redneck accent. It'll come out periodically. It came out last night at 3 a.m. at Boo-Bah.
Get your ass in the house and
So,
come on over.
I've had some situations where I've had conversations with people that have the accent. What do you automatically assume when you hear someone that has a hardcore? You assume that there's an intelligence issue.
I don't, because I was
you're
raised
from
in
that
Virginia.
area.
They assume if you have a Southern accent that you're ignorant.
Yeah, if you come out, at it with a Southern accent, then people automatically assume that your intelligence is less than most.
That's true.
Incorrectly, but they assume that.
That is the assumption.
So I told Bess I want to use the redneck accent when I think I'm near someone like that, and then just wow them. Say something smart in the redneck accent, and then they won't know how to deal with me.
Well, knowing you say, "Hey, is that the penultimate edition of that?" And then like, wow, that son of a bitch knows the word penultimate.
Yeah, so that's the thing is you have to be smart for that to work. And that's I don't know. So I'm going to have to get my learning on.
You got to be smart to fool people.
You got to be smart to fool people. And that's a shame.
Uh-huh.
I wish you could fool people and be an idiot. I mean, Boo-Bah fooled us.
I've been doing it all my life, man. All my life.
But no, that's I'm working on cultivating that. I think it's useful. It can be very threatening in the right circumstances. Somebody breaks out of the redneck accent. Deliverance.
Yep.
That scene,
squeal like a pig.
That scene, if they had like a New York accent, if they had or an English, if they sounded like Monty Python, you'd laugh your way through that scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the redneck accent,
absolutely.
And the guy over there
going, get them bridges down.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like, remove those trousers. You know, it wouldn't. Doesn't work.
I think he called them panties.
Yeah, the panties.
Yes, we're talking about Deliverance on our Thanksgiving episode.
Have you ever seen the Judy Chop Ninja?
No.
I'm going to post a link.
Judy
Chop. And a Judy. That guy.
I have no idea what
he became famous for about 3 or 4 minutes. He was on Jerry Springer. Okay. And he had a VHS video. He wore a red cape. And he did Judy Chop instructional videos.
Okay.
Now you get up there and you got somebody coming at you and he's trying to get your woman or he's trying to get your britches off on you because he wants to do something
Judy
there.
Pop.
And then you Judy chop it. And then you grab it. Now when you're a ninja, you don't want to let him know you're not coming. You want to snook right up on him. And then you Judy chop it. Some of the greatest stuff you'll ever see in your life.
What we're going to teach in our first episode is a proper stance and a proper kung fu. And you got your Judy chop, all right? You got your karate chop, and you got your ninja chop. It's like when you's a judo chopping, you got to say it, for you beginners, like a Judy chop. It's like a be a Judy chopping and a kung fu kicking, and there goes your leg. You go a ninja chop. Now sometimes it don't always work for a ninja, but it practice makes it perfect. Don't go ninja nobody, don't need ninja.
Now, if he had any accent other than his redneck accent, he would be.
I do say so.
He would be one of the.
If someone is coming up from behind. And you decide to Judy chop them, that will stop them in the tracks. I do say.
Adds something.
Indeed.
It's like a seasoning.
Yes.
And you can't fake. You can kind of fake. Larry the Cable Guy fakes a redneck accent.
He's from Wisconsin.
But I think he's heard enough. I mean, you can't fake it to a degree.
No, I'm not. I think he's from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Because he did an interview and he's like, oh, don't you know? I mean, he's got the accent there,
It's like
the
Lucky Charms.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
Oh, me pot of gold in there.
Get your ass away from my pot of gold.
I do say, some bitch. Mm-hmm.
It's a seasoning,
It's a seasoning.
It is. You can have your cheeseburger or you can have your cheeseburger with redneck attached. Okay, that is one of the greatest internet things to ever happen.
Good.
Okay.
On our greatest hits for season 1, Mike went to Chick-fil-A and and ordered 12 nuggets. Okay. After we did that, I really didn't think we would have a funny Chick-fil-A story again. Yeah. But I'll be damned. I think it was episode 53, maybe 54 when Mike went back to Chick-fil-A, and I honestly had tears in my eyes hearing Mike talk about this experience. And the nickname you gave the person in the car in front of you. So here's our Chick-fil-A story for season 2. You were fired up when I got here today.
Here's the thing. I quit going to Chick-fil-A for a bit.
Okay.
After the nugget extravaganza.
12 nuggets.
12 nuggets. I felt like it was a good time to take a break.
Okay.
I wanted to order from places that didn't have words in their orders that sounded like that. If you go to Chipotle, you're going to order a burrito.
Not a burrito.
It's not that easy to make that type of mistake. Plus, I wanted to give time for whoever was working there to get fired or move on and find a different position. So I would come back to a sea of fresh faces, which has happened.
Yeah.
The lady who was on the receiving end of my unfortunate order is either no longer there or didn't happen to be working there the day that I came by. So I feel safe. I go through there. I order my meal. And they have a thing where the guy takes your order.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know your name. Okay. You give him your name, do the order. He's like, okay, Jacob up there is going to take your money.
Okay.
Well, what?
Why don't you take my money?
Yeah, what the hell? They split one person's job up into
Last
two
time
people?
I was at the Chick-fil-A, one person took...
No.
Yeah.
So this guy's
Okay.
walking around with the iPad, that Chick-fil-A pad. Chick-fil-A iPad. Taking my name and the stuff and enters it. And then he's gesturing down to this kid 8 feet away. But that's fine. That's fine. Let's add another step to this process.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? So I go down to Jacob, or whatever the hell his name is.
Uh-huh.
His only job
Is to take
is
money.
to say, Mike, to which I answer, yes. And then he says the total, which the guy before me already figured out
Uh-huh.
and told me.
Yeah.
And then I hand him my currency, which in my case is my debit card, because
Yep.
I don't want to mess around with change.
Right.
So I hand it to him. Now, it takes time for it to go through on the whatchamacall. If you remember...
On the thing.
Yeah. My Giant Eagle story. It's going to go through. It takes some time for that to happen. So while that's happening, I'm like, oh no. Oh my God.
We have
I
time.
have a moment with Jacob here.
Okay.
And he looks over at me and I'm like, fucking don't, man. Don't talk to me. A, I'm in a bad mood because it's been rainy and overcast, and that always puts me in a pissy mood.
Okay.
B, I had a long day at work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to anybody on my lunch break.
Yeah.
He looks over. How's your day going?
Great.
What are you, Dr. Phil? My day was going wonderful, Jacob, until about 30 seconds ago when I found out that one person's job was split into two, and you're half of that person.
You're such a jerk.
I didn't say that. I'm just looking. I did give a 1 second. I've learned from some unfortunate videos a good way to instill some uncomfortableness to a situation, if you want to.
Right.
Is just pause for a second. A lot of people just rattle off the answer. Oh, things are going great. I'm having some freaking nuggets and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just stare at him for a second. It's going okay, Jacob.
Yeah.
It's going okay.
And
he said, are you enjoying the weather? And I said, no. Why not? We're already way past. I've talked to him more at this point than I've talked to my family. Okay. And
which they may be lucky.
he says, why not? And I'm like, oh, now we're going to have, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a confrontation with
Why
Jacob,
not?
the Chick-fil-A guy. And I said,
why does it
because
matter?
It's because I hate the rain.
All right.
And he stopped and he looked up, and of course it's not raining, but it's overcast. The tenets of rain are about, okay? The signs that rain either hath been or will hath been are nigh. Okay?
It's penultimate.
It ain't. It's penultimate as hell. There ain't no sun out there, and there's no breeze with birds.
No sunshine.
There's no breeze. Right. It's looks like it's been shitty weather, is shitty weather, or will have been shitty weather.
You're doomed.
At that moment.
Doomed.
Okay? And I said, it's overcast, Jacob. I'm talking to him like you talk to a child. I was like, it's overcast, Jacob. I don't like the rain.
Right.
And he's like, okay. Yeah. Okay. I can. Oh, here's your card back. Thank you. You pulling around, they'll give you your food. Okay. All right. Pull around. There's two more Chick-fil-A fuckers out there. Now they're doing the thing that they've started doing.
Is this tag team Chick-fil-A?
There's just like 15 people are involved in my order. Now they're doing the thing where they have somebody run out. Have you had this happen to Chick-fil-A? In typical God-fearing Christian Chick-fil-A's of old, the car that ordered the food pulls up, gets their food. They get their food. They pay, sometimes not in that order, and then they get the fuck out.
Go home.
And then the next car pulls up and gets the food, and they go.
And then they leave.
That's how that goes.
Yeah.
They've been doing a thing now where multiple orders will come out, and they'll run the bag back, 3 cars back. So if I ordered the spicy chicken sandwich, and they had one sitting there, and I happen to be 3 cars back, they'll run the spicy chicken sandwich. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Eat it while I'm in the car in the Chick-fil-A lane?
Yeah.
No. I like to pull over to a space in an adjoining parking lot and watch YouTube while I eat my Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here looking at the tailpipes.
You know why?
Of another car.
Because this is America.
That's right. I don't want to look at the tailpipes of another car or the truck nuts in front of me, or have Jacob come over and start talking about the fucking weather again. I don't want any of that. So they run it back to me, and they ask me if my name is Troy. I do not look like a Troy. I've met Troys. Troys don't look like me.
Troy
I don't look like them.
The only name I've never been called.
Okay.
Troy.
I said, I'm not Troy. Well, then who are you? Why
are they on the defense?
We've gone way past my pleasure. So, who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Mike. And then the guy, because there's two of them out there. It's like, Mike, I've got your order right here. Like, okay. Still another car in front of me that you're supposed to be dealing with. And he's just grinning at me.
Yeah.
While this lady's walking around the cars after me looking for Troy. They service the gentleman in front of me. I'm sorry. They give the food to the gentleman in front of me. They give the food to him.
So they service the guy in front.
It's a very cool Chick-fil-A.
Is that extra?
It's a very progressive
It's
Chick-fil-A.
my pleasure.
It's
and his pleasure.
So Truck Nuts Troy pulls out. I pull up, and then Smiling Jack gives me my food. He's been so excited to see me. I get it, and I get up there, and I'm so pissed off now. I pull over, like I said, the adjoining parking lot, and I sit there and I try to enjoy what's left of my lunch. I would like to ask Chick-fil-A to quit fucking talking to me. No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to tell you what food I want. You tell me how much it is. I give you my currency. You give me the change or my card back. You give me my food. I leave.
You go home.
That's the entirety of our relationship. All this other horse.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Okay, so I told you last week that we've become addicted to the Cobb salads at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Well,
I love the Cobb salad.
Yeah, they're delicious. So it was, Jacob was off at a thing. It was me, Libby, and the other boy whose name escapes me right now.
Okay.
Cameron. So the three of us are going to Chick-fil-A. And I pull up, and there's the two ladies. It separates into two lanes.
Yeah.
And so I go through the left lane and pull up. Got the window down, and the lady looks at me, and she says, "What's a good name?" And I said, "Oh, there's all kinds of good names. Christopher's a great name. Sarah. Mark is a good name. I like Jack is a very strong, good name. Do you want other good names, or do you want my name?" And then she, and my wife, you can hear the embarrassment, the red glow off of her face, even though she thought that was funny.
Yeah, I think Scrumptious is a good name.
So I did. I'm like, do you want other good names, or do you want my name? And she says, "What's your name?" And I said, "Darren." And then she says, "Daryl?" I said, "Oh no,
Lord, this shit again."
Darren.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm like, just order. We didn't get the rest of the joy like you got.
I tell you,
honest
man.
to God, what's a good name? Just ask people what name goes on the order.
Yeah. Yes. Or do what everybody else does. Just name. They used to just, if you looked back in the day, Chick-fil-A would just write down what your car looked like or something about you. Fat guy in a black truck.
Truck Nut
Troy.
Or they would print out your order and then you're 142.
Yes.
I don't care if I'm a number.
Yeah, I don't mind being a number at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
I want to be a
like
number.
a number.
I don't want to,
Bob Seger.
I don't want to talk to him. I'm done talking to him.
So I've never seen you more fired up about a visit to Chick-fil-A in my life. It's almost as if it's like, I waited 4 hours to vote and they wouldn't let me vote.
It's like
because
I love Chick-fil-A so much, but they've gone way over with it.
Yeah.
They've made it a pain to go to.
Yeah. It's true. We have fans of the show. One of the biggest fans of the show is a lady named Erin Durbin. She's our neighbor Her husband, Jason Durbin, is a patron of the show. He's our boss. He contributes financially
he does.
to the success of this podcast.
Yes.
Jason, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, so Aaron had a great idea
Yeah.
for a new sponsor for our show. And my wife was over at her house one day, and when Libby came home, she had a box of Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties.
Okay.
TIDDIES.
Which is...
They're cookies.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
like crackers. Dave Lay recorded a commercial for it, and his wife, absolutely. This was her favorite commercial that he's done for our show. So here it is. Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties. TIDDIES.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties, the crispy, cheesy treats you'll crave. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I love titties, especially Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties. Baked with a rich, sweet, and cheesy flavor, you'll taste the difference when you bite into these titties. These snacks are so good, if you put one titty in your mouth, I'll guarantee you'll want more. Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties. Ask for them by name. Now, back to you, Mike and Devin.
Gotta say, I get a little nervous every time we play the Cheese Titties commercial.
Yeah.
The next clip is a Darren story, but I would like to point out that I specifically remember the story almost caused an accident with me from laughing at this thing. This is one of the best things you've put on here.
Oh, thank you. Now, I remember, and without giving away the name of the company, because the company's still around, as far as I know.
Yeah, you don't want to be responsible for...
I remember talking to you before the podcast saying, we can't mention the name of the place.
Right.
And then you kept saying, well, is blank blank involved in blank blank, and naming characters off of this TV show. And then we had to start over. And we started over. And I think I may have started this story over 4 or 5 times, but thanks to the miracle of editing, you would never know it. This is about 25 years ago. My buddy Alan and I, we lived in Tennessee. We were buddies. We hung out all the time. We went to college together.
Okay.
And he asked if I wanted to go hiking with him. And I said, yeah, that sounds like fun. It's a beautiful fall day. We're going to go hiking, and we're going to go up Roan Mountain to this great place to go hiking.
Yeah.
So he's driving. We're in his car, and we're going up this long, windy road that takes you up top Roan Mountain.
Yep.
Okay. On the drive up there, his car craps out. The transmission goes out.
Oh.
Luckily, it went off in a spot that had
like a little place to drive off the side of the thing.
Exactly. A place to pull off.
So you didn't plummet off the side of a mountain to your death.
So he pulls the car off the road and looks underneath it, and you can see transmission fluid just pouring out the bottom of the car.
Yeah.
And he's like, well... So we're like almost up top of the mountain. And this is way before cell phones. We managed to turn the car around, and he coasts, glides down to the bottom until we finally get to a flat space, and we go about as far as we can go. And then we park the car. Like I said, neither of us have cell phones. So we walk probably 10 minutes, and we come up to this white trailer, this trailer home there on the side of the road. I have very, very long blonde hair at the time, okay? And this was back in the day when people kind of looked at you funny, like, what's that long-haired boy doing here, right? Knock on the door. So the lady comes to the door, and I said, can I use your phone? Our car is broken down, and I need to call a tow truck. And she says, well, come on in. And I said, I don't want to impose. If you have a cordless phone, we can just make the call out here on the porch. And she says, okay. So she gets the phone, and she brings it out to me. Then I said, I don't know who to call. Do you have a phone book? Can I borrow your phone book?
Yeah.
This when the other lady in the house comes up, and she says, what's going on? And they said, these boys, their car is broken down, and they need to call a tow truck. And she says, well, why don't you just call She says, okay.
I heard banjos in my head when you said that,
And so she walks and she says, here, hand me the phone. And she picks up the phone, and she just dials it. She knows the phone number for right off the top of her head. She knows it. And I can't mention the name of the company, but I'll tell you, the tow trucking company was named after a very famous character off a very popular show from the 80s. She knows the number off the top of her head. how do you know the number of the tow trucking company right off the top of your head? I don't know. But she calls and she says, yes, we've got a couple of fellers here. Their car is broken down and they need a tow truck. And they said, okay, we'll be out in about 15 minutes. So she said, okay. So then I tell the nice lady on her porch, I need to make one other phone call. I need to call Johnson City and have somebody come and pick us up. Is it okay if I make one more call? Absolutely. So I make another phone call. I call my mom. She's the only person I know who's home who can come and get us.
Yeah.
I call mom and I explain to her where we were, what's going on. And she says, okay. Now she's about 40 minutes away.
Okay.
While I'm on the phone with my mom, 2 other guys walk up to the house. Okay. Complete strangers. A man who lives in the house comes out. And one of the guys who walks up asks the elderly man, he says, the elderly man asks them, he says, can I help you? And they said, well, yeah, we were going to go fishing across the street there in your creek. And we were going to park here. We were wondering what you would charge us. And he says, well, what would you charge me? And the guy says, well, we wouldn't charge you nothing. Well, I'm not going to charge you nothing either. Okay. Well, all right. Okay. So I'm like, what in the hell? We're like stuck in the middle of Mayberry hee-haw. What's going on here? You know? So we walk back to the car. It's about 10 minutes. We walk back to the car and we wait and we wait. And finally the tow truck comes. 2 doors open. 2 guys get out of the tow truck.
All right.
There's the driver who's just like some guy probably in his 30s. The guy in the passenger's seat. I'm not making any accusations, but his eyes were bloodshot. Okay. His eyes look like you had dropped salsa in each of them. Okay. Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
He's seen better days.
He's seen some sights.
He's a little bit on the sweaty side.
Yeah.
A little bit on the worn out side.
Okay.
And there's like, is that your car? Like, yes, it's the only car on the road. We weren't sarcastic. Yes, it is. Yeah. So the guy driving pulls the truck up and backs in to get the car ready. Mr. Bloodshot starts talking to us, and he says, in case you're wondering why there's 2 of us, he ain't trained to use the lift, and I can't drive because of the DUI, and I lost my license. So Alan and I are thinking, this is like, we're dead.
Yeah.
We are so dead, you know, and this is the only game in town. What are we going to do? Walk 10 minutes back to the house and call somebody else besides, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know who was Bloodshot guy or the dude who doesn't know how to operate the lift.
So without giving away what we're quacking out, in my mind, I've imagined it's Bloodshot guy wearing a certain outfit with a certain hat.
No, he wasn't even dressed like the certain person.
Yes, I get that, but in my mind, he is.
That's what you would expect.
That's what I'm just picturing him, Bloodshot.
But so he can't drive because he lost his license because of a DUI.
Yeah.
The other guy ain't trained to do the lift. So they get the car up on the lift, and then they said, all right, boys, we're ready to go. And we said, what do you mean? Well, get on in. We'll drive you back to where you're going.
Oh, there you go. But your mom's already on the way.
Well, also, it's a truck. Yeah. It holds 3. There's 4 of us. Do the math. Someone's sitting on somebody's lap.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on. And also, they asked us how we plan on paying. Alan doesn't have any money. I don't have any money. We're hiking. We told him we're going to have to pay you when we get back to Johnson
Sounds like
City.
The start of a joke, a bad joke.
I know.
Like one of those.
I know.
Yeah.
So we told them that we've got a ride coming and that we need to wait. And they said, we can drive you. I'm like, my ride's already on the way.
Yeah.
I can't call and cancel the ride.
Yeah.
Thank God. So this was an awkward 20-some minutes because we're waiting on my mom to come.
Yeah.
And the guy driving the truck won't stop staring at me. He's just staring and staring and staring at me. Yeah. Bloodshot's over there kind of talking to himself about what I don't know what. And Alan and I just kind of veered off, and I said, Are you getting a Deliverance kind of vibe here? And he goes, what are you worried about? In Deliverance, they like the fat one. Finally, Mom shows up.
Yeah.
We've never been happier to see my mom.
So did you have to wait with these 2 gentlemen while your mom was coming?
Yes.
Because
on the side of the road, because they were following us back to
they're going to take you all the way back there.
They were going to take us the 40-some minutes back to Johnson City, 4 of us in a 3-seater. No, that ain't going to happen. Yeah. And they were making sure that they would get paid. So we get back, and this is on a Sunday, and where we live, banks weren't open on Sunday.
Right.
So my mom paid for the truck driver.
Oh, my Lord.
She paid the tow.
Yeah.
Alan paid her back after he went to the bank on Monday.
Yeah.
That was dicey. That was close.
Wow.
And that was my experience with towing.
Dude, that story is awesome.
Thank you. It's true. I called my buddy Alan and I said, "Can I tell this story?" He said, "Absolutely." I made sure that he was fine with it.
This next story it's about a band that I swear
you didn't believe it was real.
For 40 years,
you thought it was like Spinal Tap.
I thought it was like Spinal Tap or Steel Panther, Steel Panther's a real band, but
so is Spinal Tap.
But I thought it was a joke band, and the whole time I was watching them play. And the entire time, I'm just sitting there.
Am I on candid camera?
Is this really? Really?
Really?
So here's that one.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about this past weekend.
Okay.
I saw 3 bands. Okay. I went to a...
You went to Pickerpalooza.
Picktown Palooza.
Picktown Palooza.
Pickerington, Ohio. So a couple of my friends...
Are they famous for their pickles? Because if not, they're really missing out on
Apparently,
major
they're famous for their cougars because it was at a high school and it had a cougar thing.
Okay, like women who are over 40?
No, like cats that kill you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The Pickerington Cougars.
So
what's their record this year?
3-0.
Oh,
so
not bad.
I was invited to go to see a series of concerts. There were 3 bands that were going to the Picktown Palooza. Anytime you have Palooza attached to the name of your event, you got to have some bands there.
Yeah.
3 bands.
Okay.
One of which I didn't know was a real band until I saw him. Flaming...
The Flaming... It was the Flaming... Which...
Faster Pussycat.
Faster Pussycat.
And then L.A. Guns. And then after that was the Kiefer Band.
Tom Kiefer.
The lead band's called Kiefer Band.
But he's the lead singer of Cinderella.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. May they rest in peace.
Yeah.
He's 61, by the way.
Yeah.
And he was belting it out. Here's the thing. How much do you think tickets for me to see Flaming Faster Pussycat, LA Guns, and Tom Kiefer?
What would you pay? $15.
Okay. $5.
$5.
And that included all the rides in the Picktown Palooza because it was a fair. It was like a park. The whole time I'm there, I'm like, this is depressing. Like, I mean, there were a lot of people there, but not that many. Not I don't even think it covered their plane tickets to come out and go back. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, well, they just kind of came out and they're just doing it for fun. I'm like, no, they each have their own gear, their own drum kits, their own amplifiers.
Probably 5 people per band.
Yeah, 4.
Okay.
Yeah, or 5. I know.
Let's say
Kiefer
5.
Band had like 6.
Okay, so let's call it 20 people in the band, all 3 total. Their lighting guy, their sound guy, their roadies, there's the guy who goes out in the crowd and gets the ladies to meet them underneath the stage.
I don't think
were there ladies underneath the stage?
No.
At Pickerpalooza? At Pick Me Up? Hey.
No,
Palooza?
they were actually coming around the side. Some of my friends got pictures with the singer and the guitar player for the
right the Flaming
Faster Pussycat. I swear, I really honestly thought that was a joke.
This is. I had to do some research. I have seen a lot of concerts. Okay. Back when I lived in Tennessee, that's like really the only thing for us to do.
Yeah.
And I went back and I have seen, it was Kiss with, they were on the Revenge Tour.
Yeah.
It was at Viking Hall in Bristol.
Okay.
And the opening act was LA Guns. And before that was Faster Pussycat. So I have seen, and Faster Pussycat had 2 songs that I recognized was House of Pain.
Okay. They should have used that as their band name. That's an awesome...
My House of Pain. Not a bad song.
They played that.
Okay, and then Babylon.
Okay.
Won't Shut Up. You're just babbling on and on.
That's
better a horrible
band.
Horrible. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, check this out.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought about this a lot.
Here's the thing.
This has been bothering me. Yeah. Here is the thing. because we just see it as a band. You see it for a band for a couple hours, all that's fun, and then we go on with our lives. Imagine a child is growing up and they get a guitar. Their parents buy them a guitar, and that's what they dedicate their life to. I'm going to learn how to play this instrument.
This guitar.
I'm going to pour my passion into this. I'm spending every night on the weekends and all this stuff. They get good at it. They learn the art of the guitar. They learn how to create songs, to create music. Dan.
Yeah.
They do this.
Music that touches the heart and the soul.
There's like millions of other people just like them in the world, but they have something special. They actually have that oomph to be able to get they find other people with similar interests, and they create a band. Hey, I can play guitar, you can play bass, you can play drums, you can sing, and we all get together, and then we
create a harmony.
And it's like a hardship. You go through that, and you're starving, you're living in your car,
and that band becomes a family.
Band becomes a family. They're playing in clubs.
They go through the hard times,
they're getting whiskey
and
bottles.
The good times.
They're watching all their other friends go to college, get their normal life, get the job with the house and the white picket fence and the kid.
But they're playing at the Casbah in Johnson City, Tennessee.
I'm living off of vodka and whiskey
in the back of a van.
I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
And they do.
Because they have a dream.
They get a record deal, Darren. They get a record deal. They've made it.
Yes.
And then they're going in to sign the contract, what they've been dedicating their entire lives to. And the guy says, "What's the name of your band?"
Faster
and they
Pussycat.
say, "Faster Pussycat." Jesus. Really? Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, the Who,
the Beatles,
Rush,
ZZ
Top, AC/DC, one of the best names ever for a
Hootie
rock
and the
band.
Blowfish.
Okay,
sorry.
My band name is
Tesla.
Faster Pussycat. If I told you I wanted to start a band, and you'd be like, "Great, what are we going to call ourselves? Dragon Lords, Fire Breath,
Hank Telford and the
Darren,
Wild Onions."
I think Faster Pussycat, and you're like, "Hold on a second, what is this? You just want to say? Is that what it is? You just want to say that? No, it's Pussycat.
Right. Faster
okay, then what's
Pussycat.
faster? What do you have, a slow Pussycat? You want them to move faster?
It's like a regular Pussycat, but faster. See? Huh?
And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, you four guys have dedicated. They had it like spray painted on the thing behind them.
Sure. They're missing out on a great opportunity to tour with Riot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the show?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was okay. I didn't much care for Cat.
The flaming.
Because the entire time I'm watching that set list, I'm thinking of this. Okay, and that's we made good use of the kitty cat.
Yes, we did.
Sound.
Yes, we did.
When editing that one.
So I've mentioned on the podcast many times that I work in television. I currently produce promos for Antenna TV and Rewind TV, but I used to work at a Cincinnati NBC affiliate where I made local commercials. And out of the 12 years that I worked there, this particular story was the worst case I ever had in dealing with a difficult client. And that's saying a lot.
Okay.
That's saying something. And it reminded me of this story, which I was never really, I wouldn't say I wasn't allowed to tell, but I never told it because, I worked at a TV station. I no longer work at this TV station. So
give them hell. Give them hell.
I had this client who was extremely, and I mean extremely difficult. Every time I would shoot a shot of her, she would walk around and I would have to play it back for her. And then she's like, "Oh, no." And then she'd change her jacket. Yeah. She'd walk back and she would pose with her right shoulder to the camera instead of her left shoulder. And I would do it again. Yeah. And she'd check it out and do it again and check it out. And then why is the script like this? And why are we doing this? And I'm like, well, this is the script that was written and you approved before I came out here. Yeah. So then you're rewriting everything while you're there. Okay. And then we would shoot for that. And it's like I said, everything was extremely difficult. We got into the editing phase.
Okay.
Right? I edited a commercial and I emailed it to the client. Now she had a go-to guy. Okay. Some dump. I can't remember his name. I sent the commercial to him and he replies, "We can't hear the commercial."
Oh.
I'm like, well, that's a problem.
Yeah. That's not
and I
good.
normally never have people have this problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, that's weird. Let me send it to you in another format.
Okay.
So instead of a QuickTime file, I sent it as an MP4. And I sent it to him again. We still can't hear it. And I'm like, are you on a Mac or are you on a PC? And he told me he was on a Mac. I'm like, well, this format should work with that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something within the email. So I send him a link where he could download it.
Yeah.
Still can't hear the commercial.
Okay.
And he's getting very frustrated at me because he can't hear the commercial.
Yeah.
And I'm telling him, there's audio on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, I promise you there's audio on the spot because before I email spots out to people, I play them.
Yeah, you play.
And if I can't hear it, I'm like, well, I can't send a commercial that doesn't have audio on it.
Yeah.
Finally, the salesperson in charge of the client, she says, Darren, let's put it on my laptop and I'm going to run out and show them the commercial. Oh, and I forgot to mention the woman who's very difficult. The original thing that I shot for her, she said, this commercial is it's just way too fast. It's way too fast. Okay, we've got to slow this down. It's way too fast. And we're also forgetting that we do this, and these 2 other things.
Okay.
So we need to slow it down and mention these 4 other things.
Okay.
Like, how are we going to slow it down and mention 4 other things? You have to speed up to include 4 other things.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But this wasn't a person who would take no for an answer. And she was just really... And Mike, I swear to God, it took everything I had to remain calm and cool and not lose my with her. We go out there with the laptop with the commercial on it and we play it. And they, okay, that looks pretty good. Can we do this and this and this? And I said, yeah, we can make those changes. Finally, I'm talking to the guy. I said, I'm still trying to figure out why your commercial, why you couldn't hear it. And I would love to, can I look at your computer and watch it and see if I can figure out from here? And he goes, well, I mean, yeah, you can, but our computers, they don't have any speakers.
What the hell did you just say?
Wow. Okay.
And I wanted to stand up and just grab him by the shirt collars and say, are you kidding me? They don't have any speakers.
Okay.
Let me say, they don't have any speakers.
Okay.
And he keeps telling me he can't hear the commercial. You know why?
Yeah.
Because you don't have any speakers.
All right.
They didn't have speakers.
You can't hear it.
Yeah,
you can't hear it if you don't have speakers.
If you don't have speakers. That's like I can't see your commercial if you don't have a screen. Okay, you stupid jackass.
So I want to point out an aspect of the show many people may not be aware of.
Yeah,
is that I have a favorite band.
And who is that favorite band?
My favorite band is U2.
No,
okay,
you've never brought that up.
Unapologetic about that. I'm very militant about that at times.
Yeah.
And
I want to say that I also enjoy them very much.
Thank you.
They're not my favorite band, but I like them a lot.
So Bess and I ran into someone else that liked U2 at a different concert, but I didn't quite agree with how they liked U2.
No, you did not.
And I let them know. And we sit down. So we a big thing for me is what shirt are you going to wear to the show that you're going to go see?
Right.
You can't wear the band you're going to see. You don't want to be that person.
Let me guess. You went to see Tool, or you took your Tool shirt.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't want to be that guy either. Right. I wore a U2 shirt. Okay.
Fair enough.
An Achtung Baby shirt.
Yeah.
It says U2 Achtung Baby on the back. That goes with the story. We sit down. This dude off to our right and behind us goes, U2.
Like, yeah, so you can read.
It's like a turkey call for me. Someone says U2 or Bono or something, and I'm near there. I just what? Yeah. I turn around, and he's excited that I'm wearing a U2. He's a big U2 fan.
Right.
He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." And we talk about going to different shows, and he saw the Joshua Tree tour, and I was like, "Oh, I saw Joshua Tree tour." Had to throw in that I met Bono. Love to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Any chance you get.
He said, I can't wait till they do an Achtung Baby tour. I hope they do an Achtung Baby tour. And I said, yeah, it's their best album. And he said, And
then you were done.
I was like, whoa. We just a minute, bud.
You can go.
He said, Joshua Tree. He said Joshua Tree is their best album. And I was like, okay, all right. I can see. And I'm trying to be polite at this point because Bess is there. Remember, Bess is with me.
All that you can't leave behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bess is with me, so I'm trying to be polite.
You don't want to get
I don't
blood
want
on
to create
Bess.
an issue here.
Exactly.
All right. So I said, okay, I can see how a lot of people look at Joshua Tree as the best, but really Achtung Baby's the best album.
It was their most successful.
And then I did my nicest, we're done talking about the smile, and go to put it around. He's like, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't have Where the Streets Have No Name. And I'm like, God, under my breath. I turned back around and I said, Achtung Baby is, I mean, it's a time and place. I think people love the album that they love because of how old they were and what they were doing and what was happening in their life when they heard it. And he said, yeah, but objectively, Joshua Tree is the best album. I was like, it's not the best album. There's a movie. I said, you've seen the movie From the Sky Down where it's the documentary about U2. And he's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. It's like, you saw how they were miserable when they were touring for Rattle and Hum. And Rattle and Hum, people got sick of U2. You and I, when we talked to each other in the gas station, you, Darren, and I, you made the comment, people got sick of them or quit listening to them in 89. And I said, sure. Yeah,
you're like, that's right.
That's actually right. They almost broke up. Edge got a divorce. The band split. Adam got thrown off to the side. Larry was having issues. It's all in the movie. You and I need to watch this one of these times.
Okay.
And
wait. You'll actually watch it with me?
I'll watch it with you.
Okay.
And during the recording, they thought they were done. Like we made it to Joshua Tree and we're over. And they deconstructed down to the bottom. And then they realized that with Joshua Tree, they were being too serious. They were being the party poopers.
Yeah.
They just need to let their and he said, well, hold on. I said, don't stop interrupting me.
You said that.
Yeah. And then, so Bess went to go get a drink at that point. He was by himself. I said,
how dare he?
Don't interrupt me. I said they were somewhat miserable when they were touring for Joshua Tree. They figured out, hey, you know what? We have a sense of humor. You know, we're a humorous band. We need to enjoy ourselves. And they went way over the top with Achtung Baby. You've seen, Zoo TV. And I told him, like, you remember the Zoo TV? Yeah. And he's just kind of nodding at this point. I think he kind of disengaged from the conversation.
He wished that he hadn't,
but I'm going in for the kill. I'm like, Zoo TV took the planet by storm. Yeah, everyone, you go into anyone's room right now in their disc collection, if they still have them, you'll find more Achtung Babies than you find Joshua Tree. And he's like, I don't know about that. I was like, I know about that. I was in college in the 90s, and I'm telling you, you'll see more Achtung Babies than Joshua Tree. You're going to tell me that when they're depressed, walking around the desert, trying to figure out how they're going to shake this image of themselves being party poopers, how they're going to get away from that, they reinvent themselves with one, and they come back and they're bigger than they ever were before. It's like my co-host in my podcast. You have a podcast? Shut the fuck up. My co-host in my podcast loves All That You Can't Leave Behind. That would not exist without Achtung Baby. Get the fuck out of here with your Joshua Tree bullshit.
Yeah.
And he just stared at me. I was like, I'm going to go get a beer. None of that happened. No. He said, what really happened? What really happened was he said, oh, Joshua Tree is their best album. And I said, And in my head, that fight happened. But I turned around because I'm married and Bess was right there. And I'm no longer in my 20s. Now, if I were in my 20s, all that stuff I talked about would have happened. So another story that goes right along with that, because believe it or not, I've had multiple run-ins with people with U2.
Yeah.
So I had another instance where I ended a date abruptly.
Yes.
And a relationship.
Yes.
Over something.
Involving
spoken about Bono. And it has one of my favorite Darren lines of all 2 years. This is one of my favorite things you've ever done on the show.
Thank you.
Ew.
That reminds me, this is completely off topic. What's the most unusual or like a not a bad date, but like an uncomfortable? Do you ever had like a really uncomfortable date?
Yeah, I kicked a girl out because she said something bad about you too. I ended it right there. Never talked to her again. Do you want to hear that story?
Yeah. Would you kick her out of the car? You make her walk home?
I drove her home.
Okay. What did she say? Where were you? Okay, go ahead.
All right. We were listening to pop. U2 Pop.
Yeah, one of their worst
One
albums.
of the songs on there is Mofo. I disagree. See, you're gonna piss off the millennials. We'll talk about that here in a second. Well, I know you're messing with me.
I'm messing.
So there's a song on there called and Mofo.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And Bono has the lyric, looking for the baby Jesus under the trash. Okay. And, that lyric comes on, and I'm not even really paying attention to it, but I hear a, Can we listen to something else?
Uh-oh.
And to which I reply, why?
What?
I think it's a perfectly.
I think it's a good follow-up
question,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Well, I don't like what he's saying about our Lord and Savior. Well, who? This is Bono. I said, "This. What do you?"
Bono is your Lord and Savior. Get out of the car.
And I said, "What? What do you mean? What he said about God?"
Uh-huh.
And she said, "He said looking for the baby Jesus in trash, and I don't appreciate that." And I'm like, "That's he said he's looking for him under the trash, like he's trying to get through all the
problems. He's trying to get through all the problems.
I didn't expect to have a sermon about Bono and Jesus.
He's being metaphorical, not literal.
He's not literally opening up a Rumpke container and looking for the baby Jesus.
Right.
You know?
It's
It.
Yeah, I know.
So I thought, I can't spend another minute with someone that can't look through that. Because if you look around you, this life is full of metaphors.
Yeah.
You look at my Tool thing. I'm not actually summoning Satan.
No.
I just happen to like Tool.
Right.
So
years ago, I had to explain.
Well, hold on. Let me finish this one out. So I literally, that was. I think we were supposed to go do something. I think I took her there. We were there for like 20 minutes, and she said, "Is there something wrong?" I was like, I got a problem with the U2 thing. I think I'm just going to take you home." And it was a silent ride all the way to her house, and she said, "Really about U2?" And I was like, "This is a big one. This is it's been great. I never talked to her again." Ever. That was it. That was our last conversation was, this is a pretty big deal.
Right.
So I think we're going to call it. Bono is your Lord and Savior.
As soon as I said that, I thought, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe the censors are not going to allow
That'll
that.
turn into a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you this week by The Matchless Gene Rayburn by Adam Neediff. It's a book, and it's a good book, too. The Matchless Gene Rayburn follows the career of one of America's favorite game show hosts before and after his days on the Match Game. Reading this book is guaranteed to make you blank. It doesn't matter what Old Man Periwinkle says. Order this and other game show books by Adam Neediff at BearManorMedia.com. Now back to the show.
Believe it or not, folks, there are moments in this show where Darren and I will agree on something that we didn't know we agreed on.
Yeah.
And those are magical moments.
Yeah.
And a moment that happened live on the show involved Pop-Tarts.
I want to talk about something serious. Pop-Tarts are tearing our family apart.
Okay.
So thanks a lot, Kellogg's.
Yeah.
My kids are always asking for Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Okay. So I buy Pop-Tarts. And this was a couple weeks ago. I bought some Pop-Tarts.
What flavor did you buy?
Strawberry. I either get strawberry or brown sugar cinnamon.
Sugar cinnamon is a staple.
Those are my go-tos.
That's like the vegetables. I mean, it's not the vegetable. It's like you have to get those.
You have to get one of those.
Palate cleanser.
One of those two. There's one Pop-Tart. You guys need to stop because they've got the pumpkin pie flavored Pop-Tarts. Nobody wants that.
I didn't even know that existed.
I think they made candy corn flavored Pop-Tarts.
Oh my God.
They made like
s'mores. I don't like I don't like s'mores.
Okay.
Period. And B, that name pisses me off.
Well,
it's like red velvet cake.
Off subject. Oreo cookies, who I've talked about, they have like 1,000 different flavors. They had s'more flavored Oreos, and my question was, why didn't you just call them s'moreos?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
I stopped buying them because one kid who will remain nameless, Jacob, would always eat more Pop-Tarts than the other kid. Okay. And it was becoming a problem. But the biggest problem was they were eating more Pop-Tarts than I got. Okay.
Oh.
I'm the one who bought the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get the small share of them.
Okay.
If anything, I get more Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I paid for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I run the house. Well, when Libby's not home. So I bought another box of Pop-Tarts, and this time I hid them, and I had them hid long enough to where I could eat my amount. Okay.
Okay.
Then I equally distributed them. I said, you get 4 Pop-Tarts, you get 4 Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
No more.
Now, when you say 4, do you mean 4 packs of 2 or 2 packs of 2?
There's 2 packs of 2.
Okay.
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 Because you bought the 12 pack.
Because 4 packs of 4.
It's a lot of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
But each of my kids can eat those in an hour.
I think that's what killed Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
They left that out of the movie.
So I told the boys, you get 4, you get 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Libby doesn't want them eating Pop-Tarts because they will eat like all of them in a sitting.
Yeah.
And so she's like, guys, she tried to have them split a Pop-Tart. I'm like, what is this? Communist China?
What the
Let
hell?
them eat a whole Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't need to eat 2
Okay.
at a time. They could eat 1 and then the next day, whatever. So I had that conversation with her. But anyway, so
do they can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Do they eat them raw like a man, or do they toast them like a communist?
they do not toast them.
Okay.
And that brings up another point. My mom always asks me, how do you eat them raw? I'm like, Mom, it's not fish. It's not raw eggs. It's a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
It's like eating a piece of bread. You don't have to toast it. You don't have to cook it.
Yeah.
It's been baked.
You don't have to gut a Pop-Tart.
No, you don't.
Episode 25.
Exactly.
Callback.
Don Smith. Yeah. It's not raw.
Okay. So one more thing.
Yeah.
Can I explain how I eat a Pop-Tart?
Sure.
Real quick.
Do you put butter on yours?
No.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Now, if you toast them and you put a little bit of butter on them, holy crap, you'll want to smack your mother.
Intrigued.
It's delicious.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I take the Pop-Tart out.
Mm-hmm.
I eat all the crusty part. First of all, frosted Pop-Tarts or go home.
Yes.
The unfrosted stuff. Best, every once in a while want to get unfrosted. I'm like, what? That's
what
like,
are you punishing the kids for?
Yeah, that's like.
Did they bring home an F on the report card?
Yeah.
Are they smoking?
Yeah.
Did they call you a? Why are you punishing the kids with unfrosted Pop-Tarts?
It's like getting Twinkies with lies in the middle, instead of the cream. You get a frosted Pop-Tart like an American.
My Twinkie's full of lies.
That's right. So I eat the unfrosted part all the way around except for one edge.
I do the same thing.
I have a little handle, and then I enjoy the center all the way down.
Oh my God! It's like we were twins separated at birth.
That's the correct way to eat a Pop-Tart.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So Bess, like a psychopath, will take the thing and just eat it like you see him eating the commercials, just like taking normal bites.
Right. No,
you don't
that's
do that.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's absolutely messed up. Yeah. So anyway, we have the boys were like, they're still fighting over the Pop-Tarts. So I just hid the rest of them and decided I'm going to be like the prison guard and I will equally ration these Pop-Tarts out. And I'm going to have to stop buying them because they cause too much problems at our house.
How often do you meet somebody that eats Pop-Tarts the same way?
I don't know. We both found out that we were raised Catholic, and we both ate Pop-Tarts the same way. We're like twins. Yeah. We're like separated brothers from another mother.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is proud to be associated with Newsly, the all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. For the first time ever, the entire internet becomes listenable, all in one place. Check it out. Newsly actually picks up articles about the most trending topics on the web and reads them to you in a natural human voice, much like my own. I'm Dave Lay, and I'm in fact an actual human. And guess what? Our podcast, Irritable Dad Syndrome, is available there too. Listen to us every week on Newsly and afterwards. If you feel like grooving to another podcast, then knock yourself out. You can find trending podcasts from over 80 countries and digital radio as well. So stop scrolling and start listening. Download Newsly now. Just go to www.newsly.me and use this promo code. The number 1, RR, another number 1, then the letters TABLEDAD, and receive a free 1-month premium subscription.
Believe it or not, Darren and I also have conversations outside of the podcast. Not very many, but it does happen. We were driving, talking about different stories.
We were driving to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And we should have recorded that entire trip.
We should have, because I relayed to you a story that I still, to this day, cannot believe had not made it onto the show until that point.
Yeah.
The story of the Tool, the first Tool concert.
Yeah.
We were talking about different concerts that we've been to. And I got your attention because I said, have I ever told you about the time I saw Tool and drank my contacts? And to my shock, you said, no, you've never told me the story of seeing Tool and drinking your contacts. So
don't know how you could do that, but
so and I need to put a picture of this thing. I'll put a picture of this thing on the website. Me and my friend.
Of you drinking your contacts?
No. Of the poster.
Okay.
That's part of the reason that I drank my contacts is because of that poster. Tool has posters that they make, and they have a T-shirt that goes along with it, specific for each concert that they go to. So it's kind of a collector's thing. It has the venue and the date and all that stuff. But they go very fast. So me and my friend got there very early, and there's Moorlines Lager House brewery is right next to or near the arena that we saw Tool. Close enough. Yeah. So we get there, we get our stuff, we put it in the car. Now we're there like 2 hours before the show. We go to the bar.
Right.
And we begin to imbibe, as it were. Yeah. So we get to the show. Somehow we get to the show. We get to our seats.
Thank God you're walking.
And my friend just keeps bringing more drinks as we go. So I got a bit schnackered, as they say. We ended up going out again after the show. The show was great, what I remember of it. We ended up going out after the show again to the Yard House. I know that I imbibed more there. We get to the hotel. It's clear at this point that I am going to be very dehydrated, and I'm going to regret what has happened previously.
Yes.
So I get all the hotel cups of water within reason. I've let him have one, but I got all the other ones that I could get. I filled them full of water. I also forgot my contact case. And my glasses.
Okay.
So I took my contacts out and I put them in one of the glasses of water. In my state of mind, I thought, well, if I set this one off to the side, I won't have to worry about anything happening to it, and I'll be able to put my contacts in the morning. What I didn't know is that at 3 or 4 in the morning or whenever, I would wake up and I would be completely parched, and I would drink every bit of water that was anywhere near me. The next morning, I'm looking around for my glasses and remembered I didn't bring my glasses, my contacts. I looked at all the cups and they were all empty. And then it dawned on me, you drank your contacts. So I did a little bit of, for a few seconds, I did what you're doing right now. Now I have a story of going to see Tool and drinking my contacts. The problem that people may have noted in this is that I live maybe 20 minutes away from where I was at that point.
Yeah.
I also can't see without my glasses or my contacts.
Right, neither can I.
So I immediately called my wife, who couldn't come get me. I didn't even ask her to. I just called her because that seemed like the thing to do. To let her know.
Hey, honey, I drank my contacts.
Yeah, I would just let her know that within the next 10 to 15 minutes, I was going to attempt what is highly inadvisable to drive home. And you know, I may end up on the news. I may need bail money later, something. I managed to make it out of Cincinnati. It was easier than you think to get out of the city because they have traffic lights everywhere. And I use those to guide myself. And I've driven in and out of the city so many times. I could do it literally blind, which is what I did. And I go north. It got harder as I got on 75 North because everything starts to look the same. And cars don't really stick out to you when you're blind.
Right.
I could see lights, but I couldn't see other cars around me. So it was a very harrowing experience. When I got here, my wife was both surprised and happy to see me. Surprised that I was alive and not in jail, and happy that I was alive and not in jail. I proceeded to come down here in the basement and sleep that off. But yeah, that's the story. And I'm assuming I passed my contacts. I hope they're not part of me. I hope that my body doesn't end up being given to science and I end up on some medical student's table and they find contacts in my liver. Like, what's this?
What happened? What happened?
Hey, what happened?
How did those get there? How did they taste?
They clearly, I don't remember. I'm still concerned that they're in my liver or in my kidney.
They're stuck to the side of your esophagus.
We Quack our show.
Yes.
And there are moments in our lives where it would be helpful to have a quack sound in real life.
Yes.
To protect the innocent.
Yes.
In our lives.
The apology train continues.
Yes.
I would like to apologize to my youngest son, Cameron, because I was helping him do his homework, and Daddy can't help him do his homework. Okay. Yeah. There was, and you're part of the story.
I taught him something.
There was, you sure did. There was a math problem. And it's like Mike said, why was it a math problem? It was more of a chart problem.
I don't think it was a science problem.
They had this chart where there were some kids who had lunch but not breakfast, and some kids who had breakfast and not lunch, and the two things crossed. And I swear to God, I'm dumber than a tick on top of a frog on a log.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And I, for the life of me, could not figure out this problem to save my life. So what did I do? I texted you.
You texted me.
I took a picture of it and I sent it to you and I said, what's going on here? And then God love you. You tried. Okay. You said, this is this is that. The answer is 30. This one's C. This one's B. And you gave me the answers. Okay? I still didn't understand how to do it. So I tried to do it again. I said, so wait, you're saying that this is this, right?
Yeah.
And this is that. Yeah. And then I could tell by the tone in your text. Well, yes, this is this. That's that. Because this goes.
Allow me to Quentin Tarantino you.
Okay, yeah.
Now let's go put the camera in this house.
Okay.
I was literally sitting right over there.
Right.
It was PlayStation time.
We're in Mike's basement.
PlayStation time for Daddy. Okay, I'm sitting there. I've got 20 minutes before I have to go to bed. And it's not like Bess is going to yell down, you have to go to bed. It's
Mike,
go
to bed.
Yeah, the old man timer in me is like, you're either going to fall asleep in your bed and have a normal night's sleep and get up and go to work, or you're going to fall asleep in this chair and wake up tomorrow wishing you could die and still have to go to work.
Right.
So I only had like 20 minutes or so. And you text me and I'm like, oh, that's okay. Here's what this is and here's what that is.
And leave me
I
alone.
wasn't putting all my brain into it, I'll admit, because this helped confuse you. I would answer a certain way and then I'd say right after that, no, that's not it. It's this. But as that was happening, I was getting frothy.
Yeah. So after fans of the show, after like the fourth text I sent Mike, he finally just calls me. I pick the phone and he says, Darren, what the And my son Cameron.
That was a legitimate question.
My son Cameron is sitting right next to me. I'm like, oh, hey, Mike. Cameron and I are sitting right here doing homework. And Cameron's, Uncle Mike said the F word.
Yeah.
And then Libby's in the other room. What happened? What did Mike say? Mike said the F word. So anyway, apologies, Cameron.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm sorry that I bothered you in the middle of the night.
No, it's
I've
fine.
said it before. I'm going to say it again, and I regret saying it every time. When it comes to math, you're the smartest person I know.
Well,
and that it just it pisses me off.
You need to meet more people for one thing.
I do. I'm going to start texting Greg Bodis whenever I have a math problem. Now, maybe he won't curse.
The other piece of this is that I had fun. And it was good for the podcast, I think.
In my defense, it was funny.
In my defense, it was funny. So my favorite part of this story is not only did Cameron learn a little bit of math, he learned a little bit about
Uncle Mike.
The street talk, as they call it.
You were literally a foot away when I was like, well, here we go.
Okay. This is
the greatest moment by far of season 2.
Oh my God.
You agree on it. I agree on it.
Yes.
Every person who I've talked to about it agrees on it. And the thing was, somebody seriously mispronounced the name of the thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we weren't planning on taking it the direction that it went.
The whole bit was going to be the mispronunciation
of the word.
And then this happened.
Now listen, you and I have laughed a lot
Yeah.
And over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love most about this podcast is how much we laugh. And it's genuine. I'm not just...
Yeah.
I used to think that on Bob and Tom, I used to think that they faked it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like I genuinely laugh at you each week.
Same.
My point is that you can combine all the laughter from the last 2 years and it would not equal the amount of laughter that we got out of telling this story about the Loch Ness Monster. So I was at work. I heard somebody talk about the Loch Ness Monster.
Okay.
But they pronounced the CH. It wasn't Loch Ness. They called it the Loch Ness Monster. And I'm like, are you serious? I mean, I wanted so bad to jump in, but I just kind of hung around in the background waiting to hear what else they could possibly mispronounce.
Yeah.
The Loch Ness Monster.
And Bidgefoot.
Bidgefoot. That's honest to God, get out of my head. I swear to God, I was going to say Bidgefoot.
Yeah.
And you beat me to it.
Unidentified flying objects. I just... Were they the millennial age? Are they the millennial age? I love millennials, but my God, they can't pronounce.
They were on my age.
Really?
Dude was around my age.
Well, then he needs to be taken out and shot.
And it's not like...
There's no excuse for that.
It's not like he's not the type of person who would intentionally do that to be funny.
You feel like me.
Okay, yeah. I was out there looking for the Loch Ness Monster, and he's like, yeah, so these people in Scotland, or like, I can't remember, I don't even know what, it never comes up. I don't know why they were talking about the Loch Ness Monster, but he says, so the Loch Ness Monster, right? And so he's going to need to have some serious, he needs a colonoscopy.
Yeah. I will not abide that. I did not spend years of my young life reading. And, it's interesting you bring up the Loch Ness Monster.
And Bidgefoot.
because Andrew we were talking about cryptids. It's a cryptid. At the dinner table the other day.
Cryptid?
Yeah. I think that's what they're called.
What is?
Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the Opicumby, all those like Mothman, those things like cryptids. They're called cryptids.
No, they're called
monsters.
There's another word for it. It's not cryptid. It's
there's a cryptid.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're cryptids. It's a
cryptid. We're not gonna die on this hill. We're gonna go forward.
That's the hill you're gonna die on. Yeah.
So anyway, I pointed out that I read everything that I could when I was a kid in junior high about the Loch Ness Monster. I was obsessed with the Loch Ness Monster, and I thought that was a touching thing to share with my family, with Andrew, and he just stared at me, and he's like, that is so sad.
What's touching about it?
He's
going to give you a hug?
No. We were talking about, I was like, I went to the library, and I read all these things, and I was obsessed with it. I thought it was really cool, and he just stared at me. He's like, that's really sad. You didn't have any friends. You're just sitting in the library reading about the Loch Ness Monster. I was like, okay. Yeah, now that you put it in that perspective, it is pretty sad. Thanks.
Do you ever see the episode of South Park with Chef's Parrots?
Yeah, about Tree Fitty.
There we were, all alone at night. And up from the bird cave, there was a Loch Ness Monster.
It was the Loch Ness Monster. Oh, Lord, he was angry.
Damn right I was angry.
We were so scared, Lord, I remember I jumped up in the boat and I said, Thomas, what on earth is that creature?
What did he say to you?
He said, I need about Tree Fitty. $3.50.
Tree Fitty. He tricked me.
Damn it, woman, it don't matter we had for dinner last night.
We had taco salad last night. It was the Loch Ness Monster.
It's the funniest.
I watched that.
Funny. I watched it
once a year. Once a year, I watch it back to back over and over and over again. I am cackling and crying, laughing.
Little Girl Scout came up and she said, "Would you like to buy some cookies?" I said, "Well, what type of cookies do you have?" And she said, "We have Thin Mint, Thin Crunchies,
Raisin Oatmeal,
Raisin Oatmeal." It was a Loch Ness Monster.
How much is it for the box of cookies?
About
the $3.50.
That's what I do. I said, damn it, Loch Ness Monster. I said, damn it, Monster, you stop bugging my children now. We work for our money in this house and we don't give money away.
Easily. It's the funniest thing since the Great Cornolio.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's the best episode of South Park.
I'm going to throw up.
It is the greatest episode of South Park
ever. It is, absolutely.
Dude, damn it, you Loch Ness Monster.
there was the Loch Ness Monster.
But even Chef's parents didn't call it the Loch. You Loch Ness Monster? You cryptid?
That's right. I said, I ain't giving you no tree fitty, you damn Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, my God. I'm going to throw up. Okay. I'm seriously, I can't take that with coffee. I should not have drank coffee. I'm going to throw up.
Do we need to stop?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know you were going tree fitty. I should have seen that. I should have seen that coming.
I need about tree fitty.
I put it on the rundown.
I do.
I didn't even know I was going to go try to eat.
I do at least once a year. It's like Die Hard at Christmas. I watch the Loch Ness Monster, and I will bring Bess in with it. We'll lock the door, won't let the kids in, and we're in there cackling and howling at Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, it was scary.
You get away from me, you Loch Ness Monster.
Lord, he was angry.
For people who are new to the podcast, welcome. I have to apologize because for some reason, when I start laughing really hard, I go into a coughing fit. And this is something that I inherited from my grandmother.
I've got a headache now.
So if I sound like I'm going to die, I'm not. Trust me, I'm fine.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right.
A few moments later.
That's neither here nor there. Anyway, we're watching The Power of the Dog.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'm trying to recover. Never, you love it.
What happened?
I'm sorry. How did they get through recording it? Because I've seen the behind the scenes of them recording a scene, and they couldn't stop laughing. They couldn't stop cracking up.
We had dogs out last night.
It don't matter what we ate, woman. Say, would you crackers like to hear about the time we saw the Loch Ness Monster?
I gave him $1. He tricked me.
It was a Loch Ness Monster. Okay.
All right.
Stop.
All right, we're back. Okay, some of those laughs are the ones that we use in the beginning of the show.
Right.
Those are clips that we use.
That's right. Oh, so now it's only $2.50.
Oh my God. Okay. Everybody, Darren, thank you.
Thank you.
2 freaking years of this thing.
Yeah.
Originally, it was, hey, you want to maybe come over
exactly.
and record on the thing?
We didn't know how it was going to go.
No.
And here we are 2 years later, still doing it.
Yeah.
Still having fun.
Yeah.
And we've said that we're going to keep doing it as long as we have fun.
Yeah.
And that's, I promise you, I'm going to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And I just want people out there to know that I really sincerely wish that we had recorded a lot of the conversations that you and I had that led up to the podcast. Those days,
they're very similar.
Those days at the scouting events where we're waiting, oh my God, we're waiting on that thing that would take like all day for it to end.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I wish we could have recorded some of those conversations.
Yep.
But
yeah. I wish I could find the one where I'm talking to the frickin' squirrel out on the deck.
Yeah. All right. So this has been the best of year 2. Thank you so much. Dave, take it away.
And now it's time for the credits. Irritable Dad Syndrome is produced and hosted and edited by Mike Odell and Darren Cox. Executive producer, Mike Odell. Head writer, Darren Cox. Announcer, that's me. I'm Dave Lay. Legal representation, Andrew Jackson Gibson. Andrew Jackson Gibbons. Segment contributor, Jim Timmerman. Key grip, Steve Farrell. Wardrobe provided by Botany 500. We would like to sincerely thank all the patrons of our show. Greg Bodis, Lisa Coleman Ferguson, Chris Michael, Jason Durbin,
Ed Jones,
Craig and Leslie Hull, Eddie Pennington, Rob Wetterer, and Chris Hughes. This has been the 2-year anniversary Irritable Dad Syndrome special. Thanks for listening.
Because I don't know about you, Darren. This is comedy gold.
Yeah.
There's gold in them, though.
Oh, yep. That's our 2-year special, kids.
Nothing but
we've been doing this for 2 years.
I was going to get a cake, but I didn't. That's what she says.
All of a sudden, you're Italian. That's a spicy meatball.
That's what she said. She said it to me.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
listen to Irritable Dad Syndrome podcast.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh, shit.